Afraid, emotions getting in your way. Afraid, but why you let me fall in love if you're afraid to commit? And don't call me in the middle of the night and say that you're not able to be loved. That's not right. No, I don't wanna be that one. Still a million miles from you, so I'm gonna let you go. Oh boy, if you only knew. Not a day goes by without you on my mind. You couldn't go on together. You said nothing lasts forever, though you can't deny. Hold it all inside. No, you can trust me. Just close your eyes, knowing that I'm around. I'll be around. Yeah. You're not scared of love, just scared of love. Alright, alright, enough. Just tell me if you want my love or not, or not. 'Cause I don't wanna be that one. Still a million miles from you, yeah. So I'm gonna let you go. Oh boy, if you only knew. Not a day goes by without you on my mind. You couldn't go on together. You said nothing lasts forever, though you can't deny. Hold it all inside. No, you can trust me. Just close your eyes, knowing that I'm around. 'Cause I don't wanna be that one. No, still a million miles from you. So I'm gonna let you go. You go. Oh boy, if you only knew. Not a day goes by without you on my mind. You couldn't go on together. You said nothing lasts forever, though you can't deny. Hold it all inside. No, you can trust me. Just close your eyes, knowing that I'm around.
Tell him I need my money right now. Promise juice, they stole out my crown. Yeah. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup, yeah. But don't waste my energy, my energy. I don't got much, don't be wasting all my energy. I keep it tight, don't let nobody get close to me. My heart is right, don't question my integrity. No, I thought we would be just fine, and I thought your heart was like mine. But let me find out, you've been going around throwing shots, running plots. Come on, man, tryna block my blessings, but no need for comparisons. What's from me won't be from me. Yeah, I'ma go through just to grow through. But pay me what you owe me for, I make what you've been saying about me true, true. Tell him I need my money right now. Promise the juice, they stole out my crown. Yeah. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup, yeah. Don't waste my loyalty, my loyalty. I let you in back then because I couldn't see, but now it's clear you ain't ever been true to me. My intuition ain't ever lied, I had to leave. Handle your business, business. Do what you think you need to do to get your revenge. But you won't break me, God as my witness. Past the point of no return, I'm on a mission. Tryna block my blessings, but no need for comparisons. What's from me won't be from me. Yeah, I'ma go through just to grow through. But pay me what you owe me for, I make what you've been saying about me true. True. Tell him I need my money right now. Rob me the jewels, they stole out my crown. Yeah. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup, yeah. Don't waste my.
She's putting all of her cards down on the table, knowing there's no way that she'll be able to win this one. But she's somebody else in the making. First, she just gotta stop all the faking, and she'll be there. But she's wondering if it's gonna feel like she's forever. Wondering if it's gonna feel like this whenever she leaves her safe space. She leaves her safe space. Wondering if it is forever, or is there some place that will make her feel better? Make her feel better. Then that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Somebody said, don't be afraid of loving yourself, 'cause that is all you got in the end. You got in the end. But she's wondering if it's gonna feel like she's forever. Wondering if it's gonna feel like this whenever she leaves her safe space. She leaves her safe space. Wondering if it is forever, or is there some place that will make her feel better? Make her feel better. Then that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Talking to myself 'cause I don't know what I want. Yeah, I'm here talking to myself like someone's gonna respond. I'm getting tired of myself 'cause I don't know what I want. But I'm not out here on my own. Wondering if it is forever, or is there some place that'll make her feel better? Make her feel better. And that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Yeah, that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Talking to myself 'cause I don't know what I want. Yeah, I'm here talking to myself like someone's gonna respond. I'm getting tired of myself 'cause I don't know what I want. But I'm not out here on my own.
Yeah. I want a house in the hills I pay big bills for. I ain't got in pocket. I wanna empty out my wallet. I wanna stop motion, stand still. Wallace and Gromit. I wanna talk more endlessly. I wanna neurotically vomit. I want more dollars from my mama. I want a palace in Prada. I want a Gucci bag where I can store my sorrows and hardships. I wanna gold plate my partners. I want endless tomorrows. I want a lot more than I got right now. But that's the problem. You could give me every little thing I'd ever want, but I'd never have enough till the day I had it all. Yeah, you can give me every little thing I ever want, but I'd never have enough till the day I had it all.
Oh, I see what you want, baby, but it might be just a little more than I can give you.
On second thought, I want $1 for everyone, not just for my mama. I wanna hit the ball out on random pedestrians. I want my questions to be answered till my brain bored and questionless. I want more self-assurance. I don't ever want to second guess. I want somebody to shut the fuck up. Less he trying to tell me yes again. I want so many best friends that I can't tell what friendship is. I want the diamonds, gold, and glitter. I want fast cars I'll never whip. I want it all till I'm empty in my castle of everything.
Oh, I see what you want, baby, but it might be just a little more than I can give you.
I want a cushy job that pay big bills and cheap thrills. Wanna mob out with my homies like Timmy, Tommy, and Dill. I'm not trying to be famous, okay, maybe a lil. Since I'm a rapper, I should buy me some grills and gold frills that I can sleep on while I contemplate pills and peep on, hold still. Might sedate you, just a fire at will. I got an appetite for hardship, big fish meets krill. Don't sleep, don't spill, I ain't got my fill. I want the beauty queen to make me show my pearly whites. The type of movie scene that make you count your blessings twice. It's not the only thing that's on my list, I checked it twice and sent it off to Santa's elves like I've been playing nice.
I see what you want. Oh, I see what you want. Oh, I see what you want. But it might be a little more than I give you.
You broke my heart.
Broke my heart
A million times. Can't count the times I made you cry. Oh, we're
Salute,
such
y'all.
a mess now, and we're burning out. I get so sad at the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. I can't bear the thought of losing you.
I'm losing you. Oh my God. You won't believe
the day goes by, even the worst
the shit that I'm going through in my life right now.
I stopped the world if
Come on.
it would
Come on.
give us time, yeah,
Oh,
to
my
work
body's
things out,
sore.
to work things out.
That's all right, though.
To work things out,
We gon'
to work things out, yeah.
we gonna push through it,
To
right?
work things out, to work things out.
What's up, everybody? What's up, chat?
To work things out, to work things out.
Lakeisha, yes, I did take my vitamins. But let me tell you about the food. I'm gonna tell you as soon as, just a second, I'm gonna tell you about the food as soon as the camera comes by.
I know you're angry, babe, and I am cold.
Princessa, LaRonda, Hiya Kai, what up, bro? Hey, Sherry, Jill, how are you, Jill? A to Z Health is here, y'all. What's happening, A to Z Health? Mr. Donnie Mack is in the house.
You're still perfect as the day goes by. Even the worst ones hate they
Yes, Sherry, I'm
make me
here.
smile. I stopped the
I'm like the
world
mailman.
if it would
Come
give
rain,
us
sleet,
time,
snow or
yeah,
hail,
to
we
work
must deliver the
things
mail.
out, to work things out.
Come rain, sleet, snow or hail, we must deliver the mail.
To work things out, yeah,
Look at Shannon, treat me like the mailman.
to work things out.
I'm pulling up no matter what. I'm pulling up no matter what,
To
y'all.
work things out, to work things out, to work things out, to work things out.
Ask me, do I feel like reading?
To work things out. To work things out.
Actually, I do feel like reading.
To work things out.
I actually
To
do.
work things out. To work
I know I
things
should be asleep right
To
now.
work things out.
I should be getting my rest. I just got off the phone with Nana. Nana called me. She called to check in on me and the boys. Nana be giving me a hard time, y'all. She be like, Shannon, I was changing my shirt. She was mad at me because I was shirtless. I'm like, Nana, I'm changing my clothes. Stay warm. Put socks on. Put socks on and put on a t-shirt. Put on a shirt. Don't you walk around shirtless. Put socks on. You keep socks on to make your chest feel like you're warm. Man, Nana was on me, y'all. She's calling to check in on her grandbabies. So, for those that don't know, okay, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody to Rich People Read. Hold on, let me get my notes. I know I'm moving a little slower than normal, ladies and gentlemen. Moving a little slower than normal. Ladies, welcome to Rich People Read, though. You know, it's another chapter where we read a book a month to instruct you in the ways of the successful through the power of reading. And we're currently reading the Book of Obsidian. We are reading the Book of Obsidian. It is a manual for the 21st century Black American gentleman. And I'm happy you guys are here. Now, we were supposed to read this at 9 o'clock today. So why are we doing it at 12? Why are we 3 hours late? Shannon, why are you starting up 3 hours late? Well, the answer is because I was worn out. I had to take a nap, you guys. I couldn't get out the bed. For those that don't know, I have corona. I contracted COVID. And I'm powering through, right? Went through the shivers, went through the sweating and the fevers. You know, like this morning I woke up and when we did our workout this morning, I was sweating and didn't even do anything, you know. Now that's not so much the case, you know. That's not so much the case. However, why am I getting a delay? Well, it seems like I'm getting a delay. I don't know if I'm getting a delay. Hopefully I'm in sync. Hopefully the audio and the video is in sync with you guys, okay? I lost my taste today, you guys. So at first I was like, well, you know what? I know they say that people with corona, they lose their sense of smell and their sense of taste. And I had both. I was fine. Everything was A-okay, no problem. Until about an hour and a half ago, maybe let's say 2 hours ago, I went in the kitchen to grab me some orange juice because I'm told that I got to stay hydrated, got to drink fluids. So I went and poured me some orange juice. Granny Gigi, the other grandmother, my mother, she delivered 3 big care packages yesterday. She came all the way from the valley to LA, and she brought to my house boxes of just yummy greatness, right? Fruit, eggs. I mean, she just brought all kind of stuff. In there, she brought me some orange juice. Now, this is the same orange juice that I took from her because I went out to the house last week, and I went out to Granny Gigi's house, and I took a bottle of that orange juice, and it was so good. We killed that orange juice last week, right? She had the same orange juice this week that she brought me last night. So I opened it up, cracked it open, poured it, and it tasted like, how can I explain what it tastes like? I know this is nonsensical. It doesn't make sense, but just bear with me. It tasted like I was drinking cardboard. Orange juice, ladies and gentlemen. Think of the freshest, most ripest, most yummiest ice cold glass of orange juice. Can you imagine right now? And you drink it and it tastes like cardboard. That's what the orange juice tastes like. I thought something was wrong with the orange juice. I'm looking like, oh man, my mom done brought me some bad orange juice. What's going on? I had some jelly, some strawberry jelly. And I was like, well, wait a minute. Grab me a spoon. I dipped me a scoop of strawberry preserves, because I get grape jam and I get strawberry preserves. Scoop me a scoop of strawberry preserves. Cardboard. When does strawberry preserves taste like cardboard? When does orange juice taste like cardboard? So then in there, my ex, she brought me some Powerades. She brought some Powerades. Now this is for the boys, right? But you know, dad tends to eat the kids' snacks. You know, I don't know about you other fathers out there, but come on, dads, don't we sometimes eat the kids' snacks and shit, right? So I grabbed me a Powerade and I say, well, maybe this is just something going on here. I don't know what's happening. The orange juice tastes weird. The strawberry, I cracked open one of the Powerades. It was the blue one. Cracked open the blue Powerade. Cardboard. So I lost my sense of taste. Now here's the thing. It slowly started coming back. I wonder, is it topical? I don't know the details or the scientific ways of how this is working, but things started coming back over time. Over the next hour, I'm like, okay, let me brush my teeth, scrub my tongue, and took some mouthwash and cleared everything out. And the next thing you know, the taste starts coming back. And now the orange juice start tasting a little bit more and more like orange juice, and the strawberry preserves start tasting more like strawberry, jelly should taste. And then the Powerade wasn't so nasty anymore. So the taste started coming back. So I don't know if it's an up and down thing. I don't know if it's going to be constant. I don't know how long it lasts. I've never had Corona before. I've never contracted this before. So this is all new to me. But that's what happened. And so as I move forward and get through this thing, because I'm quarantined, I'm locked in for the next week for sure. We're in the house. I'm having everything delivered to the house. I'm having, in fact, I was talking to my ex. She was telling me something about Instacart. I've never heard of it. I've heard of it, but I don't use Instacart. And I don't know if that's any better than Amazon, because I have Amazon Fresh, where I can have, because I need to get some diapers, right? I'm kind of out of diapers. And so I need to get some diapers sent to the house. She was saying, use Instacart. Do you guys know anything about Instacart? Has anybody tried Instacart before? Is it good? Is it better than Amazon? I need to get that stuff sent out to me. So, I may have to sign up for an Instacart account, or I'll just use Amazon and see how. I'll see. Oh, Lakeisha says she just used Instacart. So is it good? Is it good, Lakeisha? Instacart, is it a good thing? Something that I can get me some diapers, and maybe I need to get some milk. I'm not all the way out, but we'll be out by, sooner than later. So I'd rather just go ahead and get another gallon right now. She said, yes, you can use more variety of stores with Instacart. Oh, okay, Drea. Okay. I used Instacart most of the pandemic. It's pretty good. You can choose any grocery store you like. Okay. So it's almost like, it's almost like, what do you call it? I want to say, what's the one they bought each other out? You guys help me out. Where's my phone? Now I gotta get my phone. Where's my phone? Let me get my phone. Postmates. So is Instacart like Postmates? Postmates used to deliver you like anything you wanted. And I guess they stopped doing that, especially after Uber bought Postmates and they kind of merged. So is Instacart similar to Postmates? Or is Instacart a lot better than Postmates? Hopefully it's a lot better than Postmates. I'm gonna go ahead and download the Instacart app and give it a shot and see what it's like. Cause I need to give a few things per here at the house, and I just need to have it delivered. And I'll pay whatever. The price doesn't matter. I just need to get it here. Mr. Donnie Mack says Instacart is agnostic. More options. Okay. Done. You guys, I'm sold on Instacart. She told me to do it. But then I had told her, I said, I'm gonna use Amazon. And she was like, oh, Amazon is good too. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. I was gonna go back to Amazon, but now that you guys are suggesting what she had already suggested, then I'll go ahead and give it a shot. You know, either one. You like Instacart better? Okay, cool. All right. If she would have told me Instacart, but she said Amazon was fine. I guess she just, as far as she's concerned, she wants to make sure I just get the damn diapers. She wanted to make sure I just get the damn diapers, and then she's good to go. And then I'm good to go. Either way, you guys, I'm glad you guys are here. Yeah, man. Lost my, yeah. Yeah, that's not good. What did my man say? Igbo. That's not good. No, it's not. Lost my damn sense of taste. Black Man Unfiltered Network. I'm good. I guess I'm as good as a brother with COVID is going to be. I guess I'm as good as a brother with COVID is going to be. You know, I feel okay. I mean, my body is aching and I get tired. You know what I'm saying? But my breathing is perfect. I mean, I have no sinus issues. It's not, one nostril is not blocked. I'm breathing through both nostrils. I could take deep breaths and hold it. So my breathing is fine. That's always been my worry when it comes to COVID. Because I've been dodging Rona for 2 years. That chick been chasing, she's chasing all of us, right? Rona's after every one of y'all. She's after every one of y'all. She's looking for you. She's hunting you down. And she wants you bad. She finally caught up with me. And I always knew that if I ever did get caught up with Rona, that I would want to make sure that I could breathe. That would always be my, because you know, remember the whole, everybody was on ventilators and people couldn't breathe, and it's like they had shortness of breath, and they felt like they had a car was parked on their chest and people couldn't breathe, and I need to be on a vent. We were short on ventilators. That's always been the fear, but that's not my case, man. I'm fine. In fact, I could go running. Literally, I can go outside and go jogging, and me and my boys, we're gonna go for a walk. We're gonna do a walk around. We got to get some fresh air, right? We're gonna do a walk around our neighborhood. Make sure we stay away from everybody. Wear our masks, but we do need to get out. We're not gonna be cooped up in the house for the entire time. And then when we get back home, we'll take those masks off. And then in the house, I'm disinfecting the house as much as I possibly can. But I'm worried. I was always worried about not being able to breathe, and I can breathe just fine. So happy about that. So happy about that. Oh, man. So listen, you guys, we are reading the Book of Obsidian. We are reading the Book of Obsidian. And we are going to knock out this shirt. This is one of the shirts I had made crooked. So I tend to keep our samples. I wear the samples of the ones that we make. So whenever you see me wearing a shirt and it's kind of crooked, it's because this was the sample. Like all of our samples are made in extra large because they know Shan is going to be rocking them joints. And if something come up messed up, then we could fix it for the productions. But I wear my samples. So we are reading the Book of Obsidian. Let me fire up the book. Why don't I have my books ready, you guys? Let's get ready to read. Even though we are 3 hours late, we are still doing what we are supposed to do. We are still doing what we are supposed to do. We are on chapter 17. We are on chapter 17, and today we will read chapter 17, 18, 19, and 20. Today we are reading, chapter 17 is only 10 pages, y'all. You know how fast that is. 17, 18, 19, and 20. What does my man Thomas Thompson say? He says, I have a congestive heart failure and I got C19. Oh, COVID. But only that the messed up, only that the mess with me. I'm assuming he's saying the only thing that messed with me was the cold chills and the sore throat. I don't have a sore throat. That's the thing. Is it because I work out and I eat my vitamins and I do all the stuff that I think we should all do, that maybe the symptoms are kind of light on me? The biggest thing that I've had was the body aches and the fever. And then on day one, I had a headache. On Wednesday, I had a headache. It was like not even a migraine though, but it was just a headache. I had a headache and I had a fever. I was hot. So that's when it first hit me and my body was like fighting, right? And so after that, it's just been sweats and body aches. Now I'm on sweats and body aches. I have no problem with my throat. There's no sore throat. I have no problem with my breathing. My sense of smell is good to go. I lost my sense of taste today. After the workout this morning, you guys. So, who knows? Nevertheless, I'm happy that my body is doing what it needs to do to build up the immunity. They say your antibodies are good for like 6 months. I was reading on this stuff, right? When you get sick, all of a sudden you become the WebMD doctor of the universe. You start looking up all kind of shit. And so they were saying normally when people catch COVID, their antibodies is good for about 6 months. And so, and my children, they're totally fine. I mean, they don't even have the sniffles. They don't have no sniffles. They don't have no runny nose. They don't have a cough. They are just, you would look at them and think they are A-okay, right? My oldest son, he had a fever last Saturday and Sunday, right? He was a little hot. Granny said that he was, Nana said that he was a little hot on Monday. Today, them dudes is totally okay. They energetic and energized and the whole nine. So the way it affects children is completely different than the way it affects adults. It's almost like the COVID-19 is like, yo, we ain't messing with the kids. We only want you adults. We coming for you grown folk. We gonna leave the babies alone. That's what COVID is doing, because it's leaving my children alone. I'm the one, I'm in the bed and they just jumping all on top of dad. Like, hey, come on, dad, come on, play with me. And I'm like, man, let me just get some rest, son. Anyways, we making it through, y'all. We making it through. I'm glad you guys are here. Jill says that could be because you're active. It could be. Maybe it's not hitting me. Maybe COVID isn't hit. And remember, you guys, I'm almost 50 years old. I'm 49. I'm 49 years old. And maybe it's not hit. And then it could be the Omicron variant, right? Because they say the Omicron variant is not hitting people as hard as the original one was. They're saying that this one right here is not hitting people as hard as the original one was. But the point is, it could be because I'm active and I eat a little better than the average person. I take my vitamins and so on and so forth. So I have all the nutrients and things that my body needs to be strong and healthy. And as a result of that, my white blood cells are kind of powerful. And they're knocking out that virus every time that they go to war. I can feel it in my body that they're having a war. So let's make it happen, you guys. Yeah, we got the milder version. Exactly, the Omicron. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and knock this book out. What do you say? Let's go ahead and knock this book out. Let's knock out chapter 17. Let's knock out chapter 17. Let's swing over to... Let's swing over to our reading page. We are reading the Book of Obsidian, ladies and gentlemen, a manual for the 21st century Black American gentleman. All right. And chapter 17 is most Black men don't know what right of first refusal means. I know what it means, but most Black men don't. Most Black men do not know what the right of first refusal means. So everybody that has the book, please go grab your books, grab your highlighter so you can highlight things that's going to stick out to be important to you. And if you don't have a physical book from Obsidian, you can always get one from Obsidian. You get a signed copy from him directly if you just hit up his Obsidian's page. His link is in the description of this video. You can also get the ebook, so you could read the book right on your smartphone. You can read the book right on your smartphone. Grab it at Amazon. There's a link in the description of this video. It'll take you straight over to Amazon. That's where you get it. It's only like $8 to grab the book, the ebook. So grab the ebook. It's like $8. You'll have the entire thing. You can read along with us. And if you don't have either of those, you can just read along with your boy Shannon. As you can see, I have it up on the screen. And then if you're at work right now, don't worry about it. I'm going to read to you. Yep, this is like a nursery. This is a nursery rhyme, y'all. A midday nursery rhyme where Uncle Shan is going to read to you a wonderful, wonderful book. All right, let's get ready to go, you guys. That's right. Don't forget to hit the like button, you guys. Let's get the likes. Let's get the likes up. Here we go. Chapter 17. Most black men don't know what right of first refusal means. You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. The Princess Bride. Continuing our discussion of dating and mating in 21st century Black America using lingua franca of the economic and business worlds as our guide, we now turn our attention to yet another phrase many Black men online tend to indiscriminately and inaccurate toss around: the notion of a right of first refusal. This is taken to mean that Black women want the right to be able to reject Black men first and leave open the option to change their mind on the matter should said Black men come up because conspicuously successful, etc. While the sentiment behind this grossly misinformed application of the ROFR, right of first refusal, right? We'll call it that, of the ROFR principle is certainly understandable, it's long become a staple of many a hip hop song. In fact, the truth remains that far too many Black men have no idea what right of first refusal actually means. As a result, and as is so often the case in Black American discussions, it has become increasingly difficult to gain clarity on the matters under examination, severely undermining our ability to come up with and implement useful solutions. Black Americans in general have a very bad habit of taking long established words, terms, and phrases that have specific definitions and meanings and then twisting them into completely new ones. A very common example of this is how the word nigger has been twisted from its original intent, meaning, and definition. Sidebar. That's another thing. So I'm a wordsmith. Like me, Shannon, I'm a wordsmith. And far too often do I get into discussions with somebody or in arguments or disagreements, and people be throwing out words that sound good, and they have no idea what the fuck they just said. They don't know what they're saying. I'll be like, what are you talking about? It's like, and I know you guys can identify with this. You know, you're sitting there, you're arguing with somebody, and they just start throwing out stuff. They just start using words that they think apply, or they think goes with their sentence or goes with the sentiment of the situation, and it has nothing to do with that. Oftentimes, the word that they use is one that you gave them. They using a word that you once used on them accurately, and now they're turning around trying to use it back on you inaccurately. But because they're so flustered and arguing and so pissed off, they're using a word just because they think they're trying to act smarter than they actually are. So exactly. And that's commonplace in our community. It's commonplace that a lot of people tend to use words or try to adopt some sort of intelligence factor in their vocabulary that just doesn't work. I'd rather you just not say anything than to just say something that don't apply whatsoever. Anyways, let's continue. No matter how much, quote, ebonics proponents attempt to legitimize the casual use of the term among Black Americans, it will never change the long and sordid history of such a phrase. And only the most ideologically blinkered and or severely learning disabled will attempt to suggest, argue otherwise. I hate when I start paragraphs in the middle of a paragraph. That messes me up every time. All right, here we go. Nevertheless, and even in the face of clear and present evidence to the contrary, even when your interlocutor has conceded that they were wrong in the first place, there can and will be fellow Black Americans who will doggedly hold on to their wrong notions of the world. This was seen most recently, for example, in my fellow Negro Manosphere columnist, Mr. Tony Maceo, who has been proven wrong both on the notion of there being some kind of ugly/non-select guy tax, as well as the idea of there being some kind of big booty Brenda cartel. Even worse is the fact that he clearly doesn't read what he writes, such as this clear and present admission that he was wrong on the former, I quote, "To be certain, the non-select tax is not compulsory. You are not required to pay it. All you have to do is walk away." Ahem. Moving right along. As an Obsidian, you understand that not only do words matter, I'm going to repeat that again. As an Obsidian, you understand that not only do words matter, people, they carry specific and precise meanings and definitions designed to convey certain ideas and concepts. Moreover, an Obsidian understands that if you wish to use a term known and recognized in one particular context as a metaphor in another, that you thoroughly understand the term is originally defined and used first. Clearly, as we can see, Mr. Maceo and many other Black men do not understand what simple economic business concepts such as taxes and cartels mean, which then explains why he and they fail to correctly convey their meaning in use in the present day Black American mating market. Today's column continues to correct Mr. Maceo's misconceptions and, with any luck, educate other Black men in their proper understanding and use of these and related economic and business terms. In a future column, I will address Mr. Maceo continued refusal or inability to understand my actual lived reality with regards to the ladies. Stay tuned. Now, this is the part I don't like about this book. I got to keep it 100, right? The things I like and the things I don't like, I got to keep it real on. Why are we talking about Mr. Maceo in this book? Nobody knows the situation. When he wrote this, obviously he was pissed off at Mr. Maceo. Obsidian was mad at Mr. Maceo. Tony Maceo made Obsidian pissed, but he's writing about it on something that happened years ago that none of us really give a shit about. Ain't nobody gonna do the research on, and we don't really care. But he's talking about it even in another chapter, and he's gonna talk about it in subsequent chapters. So it's like, God damn, Obsidian, why are you talking about this Maceo dude? We don't want to read about Mr. Maceo. We just want to read about the good writings and the information in the game that you got for us. But he's talking about Mr. Maceo over and over and over again. But that's what happens when you write with emotion. Because oftentimes, if you pissed off at somebody, it bleeds on to other people. And that's what is happening over here. Obsidian is bleeding on us because he was pissed at Mr. Maceo. I think that he probably wished he didn't talk about him so much today, but who knows? Anyways, let's continue. What right of first refusal actually means outside of the hood. Contrary to what real niggas like Mr. Maceo maintain in the sane world of business and commerce, principle of right of first refusal means something far different. Originally, a concept applies to real estate dealings. Right of first refusal is defined as follows. Understanding right of first refusal. The right of first refusal is a contractual right between two parties, the grantor and the holder. The grantor owns an asset which the holder may, at some future date, want to purchase. And right of first refusal ensures that in the event a third party, somebody else, makes a bid for that asset, somebody else wants it, the grantor must first offer it to the holder for the same price and conditions that the third party wants. Does everybody understand that? So Shannon, or there's two people, Shannon and you. And then you have right of first refusal. I have something that you want. You guys want something, right? And so now a third party comes in and says, yo, I'd like to buy that. Man, I'll give you $1,000 for that. Can I have that for $1,000? I'll pay you $1,000 cash right now. not stocks. I won't write a check. I'm going to give you cash money for that thing. I can't sell it to the third party because contractually I'm bound to you to sell it to you for exactly what this person is offering it for, in the event I want to accept this offer. So right of first refusal means that you get to buy it for $1,000 cash, the same way that this person here was going to buy it for $1,000 cash. And that's what right of first refusal means. All right. Right of first refusal is most commonly seen in real estate, although it is also found in most LLC operating agreements, where it resides as one of a number of preemptive rights. Though simply enough on the surface, right of first refusal agreements can easily go astray. How right of first refusal works. To understand the right of first refusal as its most basic, let's look at an example. Jane owns 10 acres of empty land. Joe lives next door to Jane. Jane and Joe sign a right of first refusal agreement. The agreement states that if a third party ever makes an offer for the land, the acreage, Jane must first offer to sell the property to Joe for the same price and under the same conditions. Years later, Brian offers $50,000 for the land. Per their right of first refusal agreement, Jane contacts Joe and offers to sell him the land for $50,000. Because we made an agreement. I can't sell it to Brian, even though Brian wants it for $50,000. I gotta contact Joe and tell Joe, hey, you want to buy this land for $50,000? Because that's what he's offering me, right? So Jane contacts Joe and offers to sell him the land for $50,000. Joe considers the deal, but he declines. He's like, you know what? I don't want the land. No, I don't want it. No thanks. So now Jane can sell the land to Brian. Now she could sell it to the third party because the person that had the right of first refusal declined the offer. So two things to note here. First, a right of first refusal agreement requires that Joe be given the same offer. Jane cannot ask Joe to pay $75,000. It's not an auction, you guys, where, hey, he's offering me 50. You want it for 60? You want it for 75? You want it for 100? No, you got to do the same amount that it was offered to you for. So Jane could not request Joe to pay $75,000 for the property. And second, right of first refusal is not an obligation. Joe can legally decline the offer. Got it? In order for right of first refusal to exist, there must be three components. 1, a contract to begin with. 2, a contractual agreement between two of the three parties. And 3, an equal offer on the part of the seller to both buyers. Let's apply this to the world of Black American dating. And mating. And just for Tony, here we go with Tony Maceo again. And just for Tony, we're going to use someone he would know well. Big Booty Brenda has struck a deal to let DeAndre take her to JJ's Wings, right? Is there really a place called JJ Wings? I wonder if it's really a JJ's Wings anywhere. If anybody ever heard of a real JJ Wings, put it in the chat. That's interesting. Okay, so now we're going to do the right of first refusal in dating. So we got Big Booty Brenda. She struck a deal with DeAndre to take her to JJ's Wings, after which she has agreed to bust it wide open, right? Because he's a Canunian sing negro. In other words, a select guy. He's the guy that all the girls wants. So Big Booty Brenda tells DeAndre, if you take me to JJ's Wings and get me that 3-piece special, I'm going to bust it open for you because DeAndre, you fine, you 6 foot, you got the 6-pack, you sexy. I don't care how smart you are, how good of a provider you are. You just good looking and I want to let you have this, right? Because you're a select guy, right? But along comes Henry. Now, Henry comes along, Henry is interested in Big Booty Brenda. Henry is interested in Big Booty Brenda as well, but is almost the exact opposite of DeAndre. There's a JJ's Fish and Chicken in Atlanta. Oh, wow. That's wild. I wonder if that's who Obsidian was talking about. Okay, so now check it out, guys. Here's the thing. Henry comes along. Now remember, Big Booty Brenda wants to bust it open for DeAndre. And all DeAndre got to do is take her to JJ's, right? If DeAndre takes her to JJ's, I mean, it's going to be Pound Town. Come on. DeAndre get to take her to Pound Town for a 3-piece special, right? But Brian comes along, and Brian, he actually likes Brenda. He likes Big Booty Brenda. The only thing is, Brian is almost the exact opposite of DeAndre. He's not a street dude. He's not tall. He's not buff. And in fact, he's kind of lame and corny. He's kind of cornball dude, right? She really ain't feeling all the Gina tingles that she feels when she's around DeAndre. But the fact of the matter is that DeAndre is kind of broke. He's a broke, dusty nigga. Right? DeAndre is. He's broke, whereas Henry more than makes up for his lack of overt physical prowess and appeal by being seriously successful. To say nothing of being kind and courteous, while DeAndre is something of a self-absorbed jerk. So Henry makes money. Henry is kind. Henry is thoughtful. Henry is chivalrous. He likes Big Booty Brenda. DeAndre is Pookie and Ray Ray incarnate. DeAndre is a street hood, fuck you, asshole, but he's tall and he got the body and he got the chiseled face and all that. He got the waves in his hair. He got all the things that women like, right? So Big Booty Brenda, under the principle of her right of first refusal, has to offer the same deal to Henry that she offered to DeAndre. She has to tell Henry, all you got to do is take me to JJ's and I'll bust it open for you. Right? No, where did I lost my spot? Okay, so Big Booty Brenda, under the principle of right of first refusal, has to offer the same deal to Henry that she offered to DeAndre, a date at JJ's Wings, after which she's going to bust it wide open. Henry enthusiastically accepts that deal. He wants that deal, as DeAndre ain't trying to trick on no hoe. Right? DeAndre's like, man, I ain't paying for no wings. I got to buy a 3-piece special for you to bust it open? Man, please, I ain't tricking on no hoes. That's what DeAndre's saying. Henry's like, yo, you got it. Baby, I'll get you a 3-piece special to eat and another one to go. He has no problem doing that, right? And he continues to rely on his biceps and his mouthpiece. But biceps and a supposedly smooth rap don't get Brenda fed. Now, does it? Big Booty Brenda gets a night out on the town, complete with all the buffalo wings she can eat, with Henry. And Henry busts a splendiferous nut on Brenda's ample backside while bent over his sofa. Brenda and Henry come away very happy. You see how that works? Now, hear me out. Now you gotta see the scenario, right? DeAndre was like, I ain't tricking on no hoe. I ain't buying no damn 3-piece dinner. I'm not buying her no dinner to have sex. Whereas Henry's like, I don't have no problem buying you the dinner. And now he bought the dinner. They busted open. Everybody's happy, right? Now, exactly where is the hood definition of right of first refusal play here? It doesn't take a real estate mogul to clearly see that, in fact, it has no resemblance to the original intent of the term in the first place. This is what I mean when I say that Black Americans have a very bad habit of taking already established words, terms, and phrases and making up entirely new meanings for them that more often than not have no relation to the original words. Simply put, right of first refusal does not mean what Mr. Tony Maceo and other and so many other black men heard online thinks it means. In order for Big Booty Brenda, for example, to reject Henry. Now, remember, she don't even like Henry. Henry's kind of a cornball. She's not really feeling him. She's not checking for him like that. So she's not interested in him like that, right? So in order for Big Booty Brenda to reject Henry, she must already have a deal in place. Moreover, if she's going to let DeAndre hit it on the basis of his sex appeal alone, in order for her to get Henry, she must offer the same deal, not attempt to impose a tax, quote unquote. Anything less than this is not right of first refusal. Either Maceo and his ilk don't understand the basic real estate dealings, having learning disabilities, or being patently disingenuous. I'll leave it to you, dear reader, to decide. Price discrimination revisited. Let's talk about price discrimination revisited. Oh, hold on. What is my son doing? Maverick. Go. Go. Hush. I always want some cereal. Come on. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Dad duties come first. Sorry. Papa got to be Papa before he do anything else. All right, let's continue. Price discrimination revisited. To illustrate further, the reader might recall a previous column I wrote called All the Crazy Ladies. It had to do with a study published earlier this year, whereas much as a full third of American women had admitted to going out on foodie calls. Ooh, foodie calls. Ladies, you guys have gone out on foodie calls. Don't front. You've gone out where you had no interest in the guy. You did not want him. He had no chance of having sex with you. You were not feeling him like that, but you wanted to go out to that restaurant and get that food. Mm-hmm. A full third of American women had admitted to going out on foodie calls, going out on dates with men they already knew they had no sexual or romantic interest in, but went along simply for the free food. Maceo once again got my argument about price discrimination wrong in that context because while inherently discriminatory, in the end, both the buyers, i.e. the black men seeking to get some booty, get some of Big Booty Brenda, ultimately would do so just at different prices. In this scenario, DeAndre would hit it simply because Big Booty Brenda likes his looks and swag, whereas Henry would have to take her out to JJ Wings first. Wait, what did I see? See, at least Kaya kept it real, you guys. Sidebar, Kaya kept it 100. She said, Shan, I ain't gonna front. I can't front. I went one time when I was like 24. Kaya, you went more than one time. But the fact that you can even admit that, most of the other women won't even say it. So Kaya gets all my respect. She gets all my adoration because she at least admitted that she did it one time when she was 24. We all know that she did it more than that. We all know that she's gone on dates with guys where she had no sexual interest in him, but she still went anyway. But she at least admitted that. Most women won't even say that much. So shout out to you, Brenda. I called you Brenda. Shout out to Kaya for that. Let's get back over here to Big Booty Brenda. My bad. I wasn't calling you Big Booty Brenda, Kaya. Trust me, I wasn't. I got my names mixed up. All right. However, what Maceo got wrong about the dinner whore issue is that women who admitted to being such weren't offering their goods to different guys at different prices. What they were doing was engaging in fraud, a serious no-no in the business world, which is why I never used the term price discrimination in my dinner whore article in the first place. In the scenario that is the topic of today's column, dinner whoring can't apply, nor can price discrimination for all the reasons already enumerated. Right of first refusal applied to human mating. The closest actual definition of the principle of right of first refusal as applies to human mating The closest actual definition of the principle of right of first refusal as applied to human mating that I could comes from a website called Our Family Wizard, a posting there called Right of First Refusal in Child Custody Cases, states the following. Right of first refusal in child custody situations commonly means that one parent must first offer the other parent the opportunity to look after their children before contacting a babysitter or another family member to care for the kids. It is a clause that is frequently included in child custody agreements to help parents navigate parenting time exchanges. Right of first refusal typically applies to both planned and last-minute situations. For instance, if a parent makes plans for a night out with friends 2 months or even 2 days before the actual event, they must offer the other parent the option to care for the children before making any other arrangements. If the other parent decides not to take the kids during this time, then a third-party caretaker, such as a friend or a babysitter or another family member, may be asked to care for the children instead. Right of first refusal may also apply to situations such as doctor's appointments or vacations or after-school daycare and many other instances. You got it, everybody? So everybody understands what it means? There has already been an established relationship between two of the three parties involved here. The pre-existing relationship between the parents. If they were married, then a contractual relationship is also in play, which would fall in line with the original intent and the meaning of right of first refusal. Moreover, in keeping with the spirit of right of first refusal, the custodial parent must offer the non-custodial parent the right to care for the children before said custodial parent contacts an outside third party to do so, such as a babysitter or a daycare provider. Only in the event of said non-custodial parent declining such an offer can the custodial parent then seek an outside third party to care for the kids. You see how that works? Okay. Again, I ask you, dear readers, where does this hood definition of right of first refusal come into play? Perhaps in his next rebuttal, you, to yours truly, Mr. Maceo, can attempt to clearly explain with citations and sources. Shall we hold our breath? In summary, in addition to the aforementioned points made in today's chapter, it is important for the non-select guy, the guy that women don't choose, the guy that women don't select. It is important for the average guy to be an educated consumer and act accordingly out here in these Black American dating and mating streets. You have every right to protect your interests in the most shrewd manner possible. because unfortunately, there are bad actors, both black female and black male alike, who have a vested interest in your continued ignorance, naivete, and thirst. Learn and understand and be able to apply simple economics and business world concepts like tax, free, and price discrimination, fraud, defrauding someone, and the right of first refusal. What they really mean and how they apply to dating and mating, instead of listening to two book intellectuals, barbershop scholars, and those peddling street knowledge, as they will only get you took or worse. Last but not least, stand up for yourself, because if you don't, no one else will. All right, that was chapter 17. Wow, chapter 18 is super short. It's only 5 pages. Ladies and gentlemen, are you guys with me? Sorry about that. Right of first refusal. Ladies, don't make the next man pay for more than the guy that you really, really want has to pay. Fellas, don't pay for more than the last guy paid for. Period. If Big Booty Brenda wants to give DeAndre that big booty, and all DeAndre got to do is take her to JJ Wings, then when the nerdball Brian comes along, all Brian should have to do is take her to JJ Wings. But far too often, women, ladies, I'm speaking to you, far too often are you willing to bust it open for that guy that you really, really like. He don't got to take you nowhere. He don't got to do nothing extra. He don't have to wait 90 days. He don't have to take you on 3, 4, 5, 6 dates. He don't have to do all of that shit. You ready to rock it with him instantly, right? But then this good guy comes along. He may not look as good. He may not be as physically fit. He may not be as toned. He may not be as tall and all that kind of shit, right? But somehow he got to do all this extra shit. He got to take you all over the country. He got to take you everywhere. He got to take you on vacations. He got to buy you gifts and shit. He got to call you. He got to check in. He got to do all this extra stuff just to sniff your drawers. When DeAndre didn't have to do none of that. DeAndre didn't have to do none of that. No, ladies. No. Brian should have to pay the same amount that DeAndre pays. Period. Or raise your price for everybody. That's what that's what I'm suggesting. I don't know about Obsidian, but I'm telling women, raise your price for everybody. Oh, but what am I supposed to do when I see somebody you like and okay, no problem. It's your body count, not mine. It's you the one that lived your whole best life through your 20s and 30s, and now you're in your 40s wondering what the hell happened. That's what happens. You turn around and you're 40 years old and you're saying, "Oh man, I need to freeze my." Did you guys catch my show last night over at Ask a Black Man Anything? And we were talking about women freezing their eggs. And part of the discussion was, you know what? I wish my doctor would have told me about the option to freeze my eggs at 31 instead of 41. Yeah, I was living my best life, and now I woke. No, you should have been living your best life. How about that? How about don't live your best life? How about you made a mistake, and now you're dealing with the mistake you made? Oh, should I not have the opportunity to have children? Yes, you lost it. You gave it up. You made that decision. Deal with the consequences of your choices. If you chose to blow your 20s and 30s having hot girl summer after summer after summer, and all while ignoring Brian, who was trying to get with you, and you wake up one day and you 45 years old, then yeah, you blew that opportunity. You shouldn't have done that, and you were warned. You were warned, and you ignored the warning. Your father told you don't fuck with him, and you fucked with him anyway. Your cousin, your uncle told you, hey, he's not a good dude, trust me. And you didn't listen to them, and you went and now your heart got broken. And so now next thing you know, you wake up and you're 40 years old, and you're singing this sad song and playing a violin. We're not falling for that no more. I'm not, and I don't care how good and elaborate your excuse is, and I don't care how well versed you are in explaining it. I don't believe none of that shit because I've watched it myself. I've watched women. Understand something, you guys. I got out of school in the year 2000. I was done at Cal State Long Beach in the year 2000. That was 21 years ago. I got friends from college, and that I went to Cal State Long Beach in 1996. That was the year I started at Cal State Long Beach in 1996. And I'm looking at women who was there, who I saw a lot of fellas trying to talk to them. And you know what they wanted to do? They had their version of Hot Girl Summer, and they didn't want to do it now. Those same women today is beat up and miserable. Beat up and miserable. And the fellas that they should have been with they wouldn't be so beat up and so miserable. The fellas the guys that they doing fine. They are A-okay. But the women, not so much. Women, time is not on your side. So if you want to spend your 20s and 30s living your best life, then just deal with the consequences later. But one thing that us fellas is not going to do anymore is pay more than the last guy did. And oftentimes it seems like the older women get, the more stringent and higher the standards become. The requirements become a lot more difficult the older you get. Are you crazy? That's why so many of you are going to, as Kevin Samuel says, just buy a dog and die alone, because ain't nobody got time for that. And the women that are older, that are going to win, the women that are older and are going to win are the ones who are reprogramming themselves, who is reprogramming their minds so they can get the outcomes that they want. Shout out to those women. Unfortunately, it's not a lot of them. It's only a small percentage of them. It's only a small percentage of women who's willing to change their minds and say, you know what, let me deal with reality, and I'm going to go ahead and make this change. Because if I continue to do and think the way I've been thinking, I'm going to continue to do and get the same outcomes I've been getting. So shout out to the women that's actually making changes. Let's continue, guys. We are on chapter 18. This is a short chapter. This is the Federal Trade Commission's lawsuit against the Match Group proves why non-select guys must not use dating apps. Hold on. I didn't know the FTC had a lawsuit against Match.com. Did you guys know Match.com got sued by the Federal Trade Commission? I didn't know that, but let's read about it. The game is in the field. Eric Mystery von Markovic, The Mystery Method. All right, here we go. First, it was the Ashley Madison scandal. I remember that one, right? Then it was the Tinder hoax. Don't remember that. Then it was the dinner whore phenomenon. And now this, the dinner whore. It's funny, sidebar. I was watching a live yesterday on Jessica X. I was watching a live on Jessica X channel yesterday on YouTube. And Obsidian was a guest on her show. The author of this book was on her show. And a woman came up that was just being, it was weird to hear, but I didn't want to explain it to you guys because the woman was a hot mess. But Obsidian called her a dinner whore. And she took it, she was like, so she said, oh, you must be gay. Oh, you must be, you're gay, or, you know, you like boys and all this other kind of stuff. And he was like, no, I'm just saying, because the girl admitted that she goes out on dinners with men that she's not interested in. She admitted that she goes out with men that she's not interested in, because she was explaining that people that nobody should even be considered to even have sex until after the 5th or 6th date. And that she even goes out on dates with men that she's not even sexually attracted to, which is something that I don't promote. And so Obsidian called her a dinner whore, and she got all mad. But it's funny to read that Obsidian actually wrote that in his book years prior. So that's a phrase he had been using. All right, guys, let's go. What am I talking about? Late last month, the Federal Trade Commission put out a press release that they were bringing a lawsuit against the Match Group Incorporated, the owners of Match.com, eHarmony, Tinder, OkCupid, Plenty of Fish, and other dating services and apps. Sidebar. Did y'all know that one company owns all of those? Did you guys know that Match.com, eHarmony, Tinder, OkCupid, and Plenty of Fish is owned by one damn parent company? I did not know that. Talk about, man, people be thinking, oh, no, this app is better than that app. Nigga, they all the same. They owned by, you paying the same family, no matter how you slice it. You paying the same family, no matter how you slice it. I did not know that Match.com and eHarmony is owned by the same parent company. I thought they were straight up competitors. They like, look, we don't care which one you join. Your money is coming to me. Anyways, let's continue, guys. The Match Group Incorporated. The owners of Match.com, eHarmony, Tinder, OkCupid, and Plenty of Fish, and other online dating services and apps. For generating, the lawsuit is for generating and using fake love interest advertisements to trick hundreds of thousands of consumers into purchasing paid subscriptions. Here's some of the sordid details. Match allows users to create a Match.com profile free of charge, but prohibits users from responding to messages without first upgrading to a paid subscription. According to the FTC's complaint, Match sent emails to non-subscribers stating that someone had expressed an interest in that consumer. Specifically, when non-subscribers with free accounts received likes, favorites, emails, and instant messages on Match.com, they also received email ads from Match encouraging them to subscribe to Match.com to view the identity of the sender and the content of the communication. So they wouldn't even subscribe, but somehow they got your email and told you, hey, there's somebody over here, they're checking for you. We got somebody over here at Match.com, they kind of like you, but you need to sign up. And if you want, like, how the fuck did they know me? Like, what are you talking about? Why are you emailing me? I'm not even a subscriber. So how do these people know who I am? Match.com, he just emailed you. You caught his eye, and now he's expressed interest in you. Hold on a second. My son wants another bowl of cereal. Give me a second. Let's go. Matter. Up. Up. Match.com, he just emailed you. You caught his eye, and now he's expressed interest in you. Could he be the one? Read his email. You will be notified when other Match.com members express interest in you. Please note, this email may contain advertisements. Match.com, P.O. Box, blah, 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 blah. The FTC alleges that millions of contacts that generated matches you caught his eye notices came from accounts the company had already flagged as likely to be fraudulent. By contrast, Match prevented existing subscribers from receiving email communications from a suspected fraudulent account. There's more. The FTC also alleges that Match deceptively induced consumers to subscribe to Match.com by promising them free 6-month subscriptions if they did not, quote unquote, meet someone special. without adequately disclosing that consumers must meet numerous requirements before the company would even honor that guarantee. And there's still more. There's still more to that. Due to Match's alleged deceptive advertising, billing, and cancellation practices, consumers often disputed charges through their financial institutions. The complaint alleges that Match then banned those users from accessing the services that they paid for. Finally, the FTC alleges that Match violated the Restore Online Shoppers Confidence Act by failing to provide a simple method for a consumer to stop recurring charges from being placed on their credit card or debit card, bank account, or other financial account. Each step of the online cancellation process, from the password entry to the retention offer to the final survey pages, confused and frustrated consumers and ultimately prevented many consumers from canceling their Match.com subscriptions, the FTC contends. The complaint states that Match's own employees described the cancellation process as hard to find, tedious, and confusing, and noted that members often think they've canceled when they actually have not and end up with unwanted renewals. Boy, that's cold-blooded. Sidebar. How many times have you guys went to go cancel some shit? I'm going to tell you, shout out to my guy, Dame Dash. Shout out to my guy, Dame Dash. But Dame has a streaming service that I signed up because I wanted to support him. I signed up last year, I think around February. And I don't know what he was using for his billing, but everybody throw your ones up.
Being number one isn't easy.
Everybody throw your ones up. Everybody throw your ones up. Hey, C. Anthony Johnson, you always blessing me, man. C. Anthony Johnson is always blessing the channel, you guys. Let me update the system with his name again, by the way. He is once again the stream sponsor. Shout out to you, C. Anthony Johnson, for the $10 blessing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you so much. What does he say? He says, salute, my brother. That's all he says. He didn't even want to he don't got nothing to say. He just want to say salute, my brother. So salute to you too, man. Hoorah. Everybody.
Being number one isn't easy.
Thank you, man. So listen, let me tell you guys a story. Dame Dash, Rockefeller. Y'all know, right? Dusko Poppington. I support Dame Dash. I support everything that he does. I think he's a cool dude. He's a pioneer in streetwear and hip hop fashion. I mean, just Dame Dash. Come on, I don't need to say much more. I signed up to his service, Dame Dash Studios, Dame DDS, Dame Dash Studios, and I was like, oh, for sure. It's only $8 a month. All right, cool. Let me sign. I put in my credit card, started my subscription, and then. Hold on. Eric Ingram is in the house, y'all. Eric Ingram's in the house. I believe, is that a super sticker? Yeah, that's not a super chat. That's a super sticker. Everybody, throw your ones up to Eric Ingram.
Being number one isn't easy.
Throw your ones up to Eric Ingram. He is now the stream sponsor. Let me update the system. I hope I spelled that right. Did I spell that? Oh, no, it's no H. Ingram. And it's it's 20 pounds, which is actually more than $20. It's like $24. So shout out to Eric Ingram for the $20+ super sticker. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Everybody throw your ones up to Eric Ingram.
Being number one isn't easy.
Thank you for supporting the channel, man. Thank you so much. So yeah, I signed up for Dame Dash Studios. It was like $7.99 a month. I could watch some of Dame's, content. He had he had podcasts, he had live streaming shows, just different shit. And plus I was just like, okay, it's $8 and I can support another brother. I didn't even try to use it for 2 months. It was hitting my card. It was hitting my card every month, like clockwork, hitting my card. I'm like, cool. So like 2 months later, like sometime around May, maybe, I go and I say, well, you know what? Let me try this. Let me go watch some of Dame's stuff, So I try to log in. Now, I know my username and password. I don't have an issue. You know how so many people can't remember their passwords? Oh, I forgot my password. I don't have that issue. I am so locked in with my passwords and usernames that I don't get mixed up with my usernames and passwords. My system remembers them. I have backups. I know I have everything is safe with me. So I'm like trying to log into Dame Dash Studios and it's not working. It won't let me in. I do the password reset. It won't let me in. It will not let me in. So I tried to send them a customer service email. They didn't have a customer service email. And I'm like, this is weird. Just like Netflix or Hulu or any other kind of streaming service, I should be able to hit up support and ask them, hey, can you reset my password and let me in? The password reset system wasn't working for Dame Dash Studios. So then I went looking for support department. There was no support department. So I was like, damn, this is crazy. So I was like, well, let me just cancel. There was no cancellation button. You couldn't cancel. You couldn't get into support. You couldn't log in. You couldn't do anything. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I didn't pay for this service for 3 months. It's only $8. It's no money. But the point is, I can't even use it. I'm not interested in giving anybody anything for free. So I had to hit my credit card company up. I had to say, yo, this company, this credit card, and trust me, I didn't want to do that because I know what charge. I mean, I'm a business owner myself. I charge credit cards. I have recurring payments. I understand how that works. I don't want to hit nobody with a chargeback. As a chargeback is not good for the company. I don't want to hit them with a chargeback. I'm actively looking. I hit Dame on DMs at Instagram. I hit him on the DMs. I was like, Dame, this is your boy Shan. Yo, man, something's up with have your people hit me up so I can figure out what's going on. Nothing. Got no response from that. I hit up his CEO brand, his clothing brand. Nothing. I went looking for emails to do my best to try to get this resolved more than anybody actually should have to do. And I couldn't get it resolved. I was forced to have to call my credit card company. And even after they refunded me and I told them, don't refund me for the first 2 months because I didn't even check. He kept charging my card even after I disputed it. It just kept every month. The next month, $7.99. I'm like, yo, what the hell? So I had to tell my credit card company to block that whole merchant. It's crazy. So to hear this about Match.com and the deceptive practices, I'm not saying Dame was deceptive. I happen to believe whatever third-party software company that Dame Dash was using set up some deceptive shit. Unfortunately, it reflects on Dame. Unfortunately, it reflects on him because he chose that company and he didn't make it simple. It should have been real simple on how to reset a password. It should have been a reset password. Click it. Get an email. Click here. Set new password. Go. No, it wasn't that, y'all. I don't know how it is now, but it wasn't that last year. It wasn't forgot password, put in email, go. That wasn't there. And then it wasn't no have troubles. Email us at support@dame-studios.com. There was no email just to simply send them an email. It was crazy. And I was really upset about that because, I'm like, yo, come on, man. We ain't got to get out like that. But Dame, and I know that he probably isn't really running it or didn't really care. He has somebody else that's in charge of that kind of stuff. But the people that he has in charge of that is reflecting on him. And so to hear Obsidian talk about Match like that is really wild to me. But that's the way it is. All right, guys, let's continue. The whole thing is definitely worth a full read, and I urge all those reading this column, this chapter, to head on over to the FTC's website to do so immediately. So with all the above details, along with the aforementioned evidence mounting over the past few years, where does this leave us? Well, for starters, these latest revelations on the part of the FTC has gone confirmed what I have long suspected, that online dating simply does not work for the vast majority of men out there today. Not only that, But since we know for certain that black women in particular are only viscerally checking for the utmost 20% of conspicuously handsome and sexually attractive black men, that there is simply no point in even bothering with what can only be rightly called a fool's errand, but even worse, what amounts to throwing money down a rat hole. And that's just for starters, as the ETC suits against Match attests to. For the gentlemen of Obsidian, the brothers in this dojo have only one path forward towards success, not only with the ladies, but in life, period. And that is to do this. The game is in the field, not online, fellas, not on social media. It is in the field. It is outside your door. This means that you must have a social life, fellas. And in order to do that, you must be successful at something. You must be successful at something, meaning something that you actually get paid for doing. You must have the means to have a social life to begin with. And most importantly, for the purposes of today's discussion, you must have the social skills to chat up the ladies in real time. Yes, black women in particular are checking for a particular type of black man. Yes, we live in a post-Me Too era where there are real and legitimate concerns about guys attempting to chat up women in public areas. And yes, there are all kinds of people, black women and men alike, out there on the make to get into your wallet and scam the crap out of you. It's all true. And yet, it is possible to get out there and make things happen in real life. I am living proof of that. True, life can be difficult, and the dating and mating landscape in particular can be downright brutal. But all hope is not lost. Most black women have no idea what they actually really do want, which is a great thing when you think about it, because it gives you a chance to show them what you got. So, do you know, if you were dropped into, say, an art museum, right? Like an art museum show opening, would you be able to blend right in? What about a poetry reading? What if you were dropped into a poetry reading or a semi-formal dinner party? A jazz festival in the autumn. These and many other venues are places that are replete with black women. Black women, fellas. Oh, Sir Hale is here. Hold on, Sir Hale. Hold on, Sir Hale. A semi-formal dinner party, a jazz festival, fellas, a jazz festival. These and many other venues are places that are replete with black women, most of whom are single. According to a simple review of the data, they are out there and they're waiting on you to show up. Everybody, throw your ones up. Sir Hale is in the house, y'all.
Being number one isn't easy.
Appreciate the knowledge you spread, supporting the platform. I tell everybody, so thank you for the blessing. It's not a donation. Everybody understand that Sir Hale and the others did not donate to this channel. They did not donate. No. They blessed this channel. He did not, Sir Hale, my man Sir Hale Speaks, he did not donate to the channel. He blessed this channel, and he is an investor in the channel. So everybody that sends a super chat, everybody that joins the membership are investors in this channel. Despite the fact of me having COVID right now, and I'm struggling through this reading, I'm struggling to be here, and my son's is hungry, and I really want to go lay down, and I lost my taste today. You guys are encouraging me to be here anyway, because through your blessings and your investments in the channel, we gonna make it happen. So thank you so much. Shout out to Sir Hale.
Being number one isn't easy.
Shout out to Sir Hale. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your help. Let's continue. Fellas, the women are out there, man. They're out there. They're at these events. Obsidian, Obsidian says, I have never used online dating or an app, and I never will. Why should I? When there are so many black women right outside my door. As for the notion of the select fuckboys have all the fun, well, let's just say that if I had a 5 spot for every time a black woman told me, you're usually not my type, or I don't usually do this, as she's bending over my sofa, I wouldn't need to write this column to get paid, now would I? Last weekend, I attended a concert at an upscale winery. Next week, I'll be attending another live event centered on what else? Black love. Both events have and will be bursting at the seams with black women. Pardon the pun. I have my suits lined up, my business cards at the ready, and I know exactly what to say and do, whether I have a +1 on my arm or not. Whether the match group goes down in flames or not, whether the dinner whores are banished to the phantom zone or not, will not matter one little bit to me, because I see to it that I have the social life and complements social life that I have a social life that complements my business and work success, and that will show the non-select guy status to be damned. Do you? And that's the end of that chapter. Now, here's the only thing I have to say to that. That's where me and Obsidian disagree. Did you guys see my show on how to properly swipe left? I did a show. No, I said how to properly swipe right. I did a show. I got a podcast under High Value Shan, how to properly swipe right. I did a show on that. You can use online dating to your advantage, even as a non-select guy. I get it. There's a cohort of men who say, look, man, online dating ain't worth it. And there's some that say online dating could work out for you. I'm on the online dating side, could work out for you side. I rock with Obsidian. If you know, it's weird because if I had to say there's anything I disagree with, is this. So fellas, your mileage may vary. Your mileage may vary. Obsidian never has and never will use an online dating site. He doesn't need to. Some of you guys might need to. Some of you guys might need to. Depending on what you do, how busy you are, how your lifestyle is, what your business is, it may be to your advantage to give it a shot. So I'm not going to tell you, like Obsidian, stay away from dating apps. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say, depending on who you are and what you do and how you live your life and how you get your money and how your time is spent, in your 24 hours per day, it might be to your advantage. So I'm gonna leave it at that. All right, let's go. All right, here we go. Chapter 19, only 10 pages. It's another short chapter. I'm gonna read straight through this really fast. You guys, give me a second. Let me go grab something to drink. I could taste that. See, I couldn't taste this earlier. That's why I haven't drunk much. This didn't taste like shit earlier. So my taste, COVID took away my taste buds earlier this morning. And now it's kind of like, it's coming back. I don't know. It's weird. All right, let's go. Chapter 19. Chapter 19. No. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, here we go. Chapter 19. Match.com gets in on the Dating Coach for Men Act. The findings from all these studies caused controversy and confusion among my colleagues because in many respects, they contradicted conventional thinking. They forced a radical shift from the standard view of men's and women's sexual psychology. One of my aims in this book is to formulate from these diverse findings a unified theory of human mating based not on romantic notions or outdated scientific theories, but on current scientific evidence, much of what I discovered about human mating is not nice. In the ruthless pursuit of sexual goals, for example, men and women derogate their rivals, deceive members of the opposite sex, and and even subvert. Hold on, son. And even subvert their own mates. These discoveries are disturbing to me. I would prefer that the competitive and conflictual and manipulative aspects of human mating did not exist. But a scientist cannot wish away unpleasant findings. Ultimately, the disturbing side of human mating must be confronted if harsh consequences are ever to be ameliorated. That's David M. Buss, The Evolution of Desire, Strategies of Human Mating. Yes, son.
I might have some strawberries.
You want some strawberries?
Yes.
You gonna eat them all?
Yes.
Yes, you can have them. Can you reach them?
No.
You need me to get them? I gotta get my son some strawberries, you guys. I'll be right back. Here. Here. We are struggle streaming today, right? I had to wash my strawberries off, then they got me all wet. All right, guys, we're back. Fellas. All right, here we go. Here we go. You gonna sit here or you want to sit here? No? Okay, go. Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's read. Clicking send on my email to mystery was one of the hardest things I'd ever done. No. If anyone, friends, family, colleagues, and especially my lone ex-girlfriend in Los Angeles found out I was paying for live-in Maverick, you gotta go. Strawberry? Oh, it's embarrassing. Just to determine that he wanted some strawberries that I gave his big brother. Okay, so now they both have their strawberries. Let's go. Clicking send. If you guys are sitting here watching me be a parent and read, thank you so much. Especially shout out to those that put a super chat on this, because you probably are empathizing with me and have gone through this yourselves. And you're like, yo, Shan, I feel you, brother. Thank you so much. So here I am, sick with COVID, body aching, no taste buds. My sons want my attention, and I'm struggle streaming, trying to read without coughing. Man, we're making it happen. Anyways, let's go, you guys. All right, here we go. Clicking send on my email to Mystery was one of the hardest things I'd ever done. If anyone, friends, family, colleagues, and especially my lone ex-girlfriend in Los Angeles, found out I was paying for live-in field lessons on picking up women, the mockery and recrimination would be instant and merciless. So I kept my intentions secret, dodging social plans by telling people that I was going to be showing an old friend around town all weekend. However, I still had my own conscience to deal with. This was far and away most pathetic thing I'd ever done in my life. And unfortunately, as opposed to, say, masturbating in the shower, it wasn't something I could do alone. Mystery and the other students would be there to bear witness to my shame, my secret, my inadequacy. A man has two primary drives in early adulthood. One towards power, success, and accomplishments, and the other towards love, companionship, and sex. Half of life then was out of order. To go before them was to stand up as a man and admit that I was only half a man. That was from Neil Strauss in the book The Game, Penetrating the Secret Society of Pickup Artists. So here we go. 2 weeks ago, your correspondent reported and gave commentary on the announcement by the Federal Trade Commission to bring a massive lawsuit against Match Group Incorporated, the parent company that owns online dating giants like Match.com, eHarmony, OkCupid, Plenty of Fish, and of course Tinder, just to name a paltry few, for equally massive amounts of fraud they perpetuated on its largely male consumer base. Eager to see what, if any, response would be on the part of those longer in the tooth dating coaches who particularly relied on online dating services, which, let's be honest, means for all intents and purposes, the Match Group, I kept vigil on the social media landscape for anything that came up on the radar. Nothing came up on the radar. Don't hate the player, Evan. Hate the game. Then, just in time for the kickoff to the final weekend of October 2019 and just before Halloween, longtime dating coach for smart, strong, successful women, Evan Mark Katz, discussed how apparently Match.com is now moving into the dating coach for men. Dating coaching for men business in a blog post on his eponymous website titled Men Ask for Dating Advice from Match Hell Freezes Over. Ever the loquacious sort, Katz seems quite miffed about the idea. I've always had a glib answer as to why I'm a dating coach for women instead of men. Men need more help. Women ask for more help. Ooh, men need more help. Women ask for more help. Evan continues. In general, this is true. I was a dating coach, one of the first, from 2003 to 2009. And I didn't specify which gender I was helping. Without doing anything specific to court women, 80% of my mailing list turned out to be women. Why weren't men flocking to me? Because men who lacked confidence back in those days turned to pickup artists for tricks on how to talk to a woman. And if anything, the rest of the men had an irrational sense of confidence in spite of their middling results. After giving more excuses as to why he couldn't cut it, making it as a dating coach for men, Evan tries to get back on track. The reason I'm sharing this article is that the headline suggests that men were 3 times more likely to opt in for advice than women. That threw me for a loop and begged a bunch of questions. Did those men actually step up to pay for that advice, or did they just give you an email address? How long did those men continue to receive advice? Did those men implement the advice and get results from it? And while I, too, am a self-proclaimed expert, I earned my stripes over 16 years. Someone making $35,000 to talk on the phone without experience in the nuances of online dating, color me skeptical. Jeez. Is this guy full of himself or what? But wait, there's more. Quote, most dating sites try to acquire customers and then pay no mind in helping them succeed. I spoke at about 4 online dating conferences where I encouraged them to work with folks like me to educate their millions of members about online dating profiles, photos, email techniques, the male and female user experience, etc. You know how many sites I ended up working with? None. End quote. I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Don't those ignorant rubs know what's good for them? Hollywood writers couldn't make this stuff up. And Evan ought to know he failed at trying to be, and Evan ought to know he failed at trying to be one. Whew. That must have really chapped poor little Evan's hide, huh? And rightly so. According to a very recent piece appearing on the Vice.com website on PUA's pickup artists called Men Are Still Spending Obscene Amounts of Money to Become Pickup Artists, not only is the pickup artist business global, but it pulls in excess of $100 million a year. Even if one could reasonably argue that EMK's, not Evans, not doing shabby for himself, pulling in somewhere around $200,000 a year, it pales in comparison to the kind of cake that the top flight pickup artists make. Hell, even a relative newbie like Alpha Male Strategies is pulling in that kind of money a year just from his Patreon supporters alone. Now nearly 3,800 Patreons alone strong. And when you compare Evans' books to Alpha Male Strategies on Amazon, please, it's not even close. So, before we get into what's really eating Evan, a dating coach for older, smart, strong, successful women, let's get into into the bleedingly obvious. The story he's referencing originally hails from the Business Insider website and was dated May 14th, 2019, nearly 5 months before the announcement of the FTC lawsuit against Match.com. Why didn't Evan address this major news story? One that has cost the Match Group a pretty penny, and they haven't even been to court yet. One that just happened a month ago. Why would Evan reach right over this sizzling hot story back to the Hail Mary Match.com was trying to heave up before the FTC hammer came down on them? To ask the question is to answer it. Because to discuss that is to admit that the gig is up. I've discussed before on this column. Men everywhere are wising up to the all manners of schemes and tricks and games being run on them, not just by women, but by corporate conglomerates like Match and even guys like Evan himself. It is a fact that Match is taking a financial hit in the markets. It is only a matter of time before the proverbial rats really start to jump ship if they haven't already. It would therefore make complete sense as to how and why Evan never caught on with the fellas, while the pickup artist business was literally swimming in the black, and it ain't for the green-eyed, envious reasons those of Cat's ilk tries to make us all believe. No, the reality is that, like everywhere else in the free market, when you figured out how to build a better mousetrap, people, in this case men, can and will beat a path to your door. It's all about the results, Evan. It's all about the results. Yeah, I know. There are bad actors in the pickup artist land, right? The Julian Blanks of the world. Some would even include the notorious Roosh V in that number, though I'm personally inclined to disagree given the amount of time I've spent actually talking to and with the man, unlike his critics. I get it. The business is big enough that you're bound to find carpetbaggers, charlatans, and good old-fashioned cheats in the game. But that's not only to be expected. Name me any endeavor where real money is on the table that also doesn't have its malcontents. Because if you think they don't exist on the other side for the ladies, I've got a beautiful bridge in South Philly to sell you for dirt cheap. No matter. Jeez, how you eat all of them strawberries already? All right, had to reload them with them strawberries. All right, here we go. None of this is to minimize or belittle real concerns about the pickup business, but one gets the sneaking suspicion that its critics are really only suffering from sour grapes, Hayton syndrome that has caught hold of our man Evan. Pickup artists have succeeded in showing conventional societal wisdom up and turning it right on its head. The idea that men don't ask for help, wrong. The notion that pickup artists' tricks don't work, wrong. The proposition that pickup artists would burn themselves out like the trendy little fad that it is, wrong. It seems no matter what you throw at it, the pickup artist juggernaut just shrugs it off, totally unbothered, and keeps right on getting up, much to the chagrin of nice, quote, nice guys with balls. Even Evan and the women who claim their undying love for them stamping their feet in protest. And the reasons for all this are very simple and twofold. One, because pickup artists actually listen to what men want. Two, because pickup artists actually found a way to deliver the goods on what men want. And what men want is also very simple. They want to get laid. Preferably with as little time wasted or money spent, and with hottest women possible. End of. You can debate it, argue about it, decry and shallowness of it all you want. It will not change a damn thing. As the professor himself, Tom Likas, has rightly observed, dating is for porking. And when even the nicest of guys, I'm looking at you, Evan, are sure of their company, they will admit this hardcore truth. Does that mean that there are men out there looking for a wife? Of course. Though not as many as there once was, and nowhere is this more evident than modern day Black America. Does that mean that there are men out here who aren't interested in a girlfriend? Of course not. But whether a guy is looking for a one-night stand or a long-term soulmate, what they all have in common is they want to get laid. There is simply no way around this, ladies. And the real reason why, quote unquote, sensitive dating coaches like Evan fail is because they fail to actually listen to the market. That's Econ 101, bro. Not my personal opinion. Pickup artists listened, and they were able to get the hard cases like, short guys laid with pretty women at that. Neil Strauss, whose memoir about pickup artists and his time learning the ropes of seduction among their number, is now seen as textbook classic in its own right, to such an extent that it was a New York Times bestseller. Is as a case in point among many great others. Guys like Evan didn't. Don't believe me? Here, see for yourself. If you are short, fat, older, and an Asian man, you must read this, but especially if you're short. So, is it really because guys are stupid jerks who don't know what's good for them, as Evan asserts? Or is it because guys know when you simply cannot cut it and make a beeline for those who can and will, As I said above, to ask a question is to answer it. Attempting to moralize guys out of wanting to get laid first and foremost is like attempting to browbeat women out of wanting successful men who will commit. Neither is going to happen anytime soon. Simply put, both sexes have their own priorities, and the market has simply shifted to accommodate both now. Remember, women have had a multi-decades head start in this regard. Ever heard of Cosmo magazine? And we're not going back. So with all that has been going on, per my FTC match column a few weeks ago, we can now add that the dating coaching industry for men has finally come along to level the dating and mating playing fields. Match.com's last-ditch effort to get in on the Dating Coaching for Men Act is yet more proof of this fact. It's about damn time. Are we learning yet, Evan? Whew. Made it through, y'all. Made it through. Y'all hanging in there with your boy? I'm struggle streaming over here, y'all. I'm struggling. And this is a pretty long chapter. This is 19 pages. This is twice the length of the last one. It's twice the length of the last one, you guys. But I'm making it through. I'm making it through. And then everybody throw your ones up.
Being number one isn't easy.
Everybody throw your ones up for my girl, Jill. Jill, what does Jill say? She says, thank you, Shan, for pushing through. Feel better. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best, Jill. I'm dedicated to you guys. I'm dedicated to you guys. I know, and you know what? I know that you guys are struggle listening because I'm struggle reading. I know that it's not even coming out right. I'm not doing the book justice. I'm not reading the way I should be reading to you guys. But thank you so much for having the patience and understanding and being here with me anyway. And that's why it's important that you guys purchase the book yourselves. So if in the event that I don't read it right or properly, you can always reference your own book to make sure that you get the understanding that you actually need the way you need to get it. I'm doing my best, you guys. My neck is stiff and I got to sit like this. But right now, my neck is stiff. I really need a massage. But there's nothing I can do about that. And I kind of just want to lay down. But it's all right. We're going to power through this, and we're going to power through these 19 pages. Thank you so much, Jill, for supporting the channel. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. All right, guys. All right, here we go. Chapter 20. SYSBM, the hidden self-love movement. Thank you for the likes. I see the likes going up. Like somebody just hit the like just now. Now it's at 34. So whoever hit the thumbs up button on the video, thank you. Whoever that was that just hit the... Okay, first of all, everybody that hit the thumbs up button, thank you. And whoever hit the thumbs up button just now, thank you. The fact that you hit the thumbs up button on a video that I'm struggle reading says more about how amazing you are than it does about what I'm providing you. Because what I know I'm providing you guys is not really valuable. It's not, it's just, I'm not reading it good. But you give it a thumbs up anyway, so thank you so much. It speaks to more about how your integrity and greatness than it does mine. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for the thumbs up. All right, here we go. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, ain't nobody gonna give you a Kahoot. Nah. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. The staple singers. Oh, respect yourself. No, I don't know. That ain't the same. Anyways, that's the staple singers. All right. Here we go. I don't be knowing when he starts talking and when he's not doing a quote. Okay, so that's another quote. So here's another quote. And when you're with your friends, I glide to the side until the spotlight is mine and never sabotage a good time. But when they're not around, the flights commence. I'm the one you're against, and it doesn't make sense because I'm the one that you claim to love for life, but all I get is gray hairs and strife. And I can play some old stuck-up rapper role and get foul every time you lose control. But that's not my order of operations, so I should win an award for lots of patience. Because that's all a fella can have with a girl who's shooting up his world like Shaft. And I don't think that I can take it anymore. I'm looking at the front door. That's from Main Source. You guys see it? That's music. You guys don't know nothing about Main Source. You know, you're not old enough. Y'all, everybody on this, y'all not old enough to know anything about Main Source. All right. Let's continue, guys. Here's the book now. Obsidian be hitting us with these quotes. I'll be like, damn, is he talking or, so here we go. Let's be honest. When we as Black Americans hear the words self-love, you immediately think Black women and the battalion of experts and varying stripes that cater to them. The premise, as it de facto defined by the aforementioned and wholeheartedly accepted by millions of Black women nationwide over the past few decades, at the least, is that Black women should, or even must, stop putting everyone and everything before themselves. That their self-care, self-esteem, and self-respect is the sine qua non of their well-being and happiness. Quote, self-love has been so closely associated with Black women over the past few decades that it is kind of alien to even think of it in any other way. From Michael Baisden to and Oprah Winfrey at the close of the last century to Derek Jackson and Stephen Labossiere, in the new one and everyone in between, self-love has been a staple of Black love discourse that has again come to mean in working terms that Black women must look out for themselves and get their best life. Some would even go so far as to say that this is a self-love thing. This would say that this self-love thing is a Black women only thing. Self-love for me, but not for thee, right? And then SYSBM movement came along. Self-love is for Black men too. Before I go in on this section, let me say that for the record, I am in no way against the notion of self-love and all that it has come to entail for Black women. Indeed, after listening intently to the messages of the aforementioned names above, neither I nor anyone who fancies themselves as a thoughtful person could be against anyone in this Black women for being. Let me start that over again. This is so long. There's no period. This is a long sentence. I got to go back to the last page before I run into a period. Okay. Self-love is for Black men too. Before I go in on this section, let me say that for the record, I am in no way against the notion of self-love and all that it has come to entail for Black women. Indeed, after listening intently to the messages of the aforementioned names above, neither I nor anyone who fancies themselves as a thoughtful person could be against anyone in this Black woman being for what is best for their physical, mental, and emotional well-being, that they can and should make time for themselves, their dreams, hopes, and aspirations, that they should limit, if not cut out altogether, toxic people and situations, and that they should live their best lives. Period. That's the first period, and there's no period in that. I saw the semicolons, right? Which is a sentence that's, I know what a semicolon is, but there's no period, so that kind of messed me up. All right. I am merely saying that self-love is for black men too. Simply, self-love is for black men too, you guys. In my previous chapter, what do older black women have to offer in the black American dating marketplace? I discussed that black American cultural notion of black love as relates to black male role. In a series documenting the supposed triumph of black love on Oprah Winfrey Network in 2018, 64-year-old Tina Knowles not only emasculated her second husband, veteran actor Richard Lawson, she eviscerated him on international television. The look on the long-suffering Lawson's face really said it all as to how much he had to endure in the name of black love. Now, of course, Lawson was soon seen to be the one in the wrong, right? As it's so often the case in black community life. Because black women, especially those who attain big mama status, or, you know, once you get to be big mama, right? Can never do any wrong. Big mama could never do no wrong, no matter what she do. It didn't matter that Beyonce's mom, Miss Knowles, overbearingly bitchy behaviors was on display for the whole world to see. No. That was only a strong black woman, right, that we saw. And Mr. Lawson simply wasn't man enough to take and deal with it. The last time I checked, Mr. Lawson remains with Beyonce's mom to this day, instead of taking his mic off, getting up and walking out mid-interview, only reinforces this truly dysfunctional community view. Black men in general and older black men like the now 72-year-old Mr. Lawson are expected to take what can only be described anywhere else outside of Black America as abuse. Verbal, mental, emotional, psychological, and even physical. And the expectation arises from the fact that black women like Beyonce's mom were somehow survivors of select fuckboys like her first hubby, Mr. Michael Knowles. You see, because Mr. Michael Knowles was a serial cheater and Tina has had to bear the brunt of all of that, it then gives her the right to be a bitch. And a good black man like Mr. Lawson should have to grin and bear it. That's A1 dumping, and it's deeply abusive, as all the world got to see on national television in the summer of 2018. And yet, the demand that good black men put up with black women like Tina Knowles not only persists, but it has seen a decided uptick in the time since. Going further. Ooh, hold on. I just put Kaya. Hey, Kaya. What's happening, girl? I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you, love. Kaya, you said, what did she do? Oh, my God. Kaya, you didn't see? Kaya, you didn't see the interview in 2018 when Beyonce's mom and her new husband went up on Oprah's show? So Tina Knowles and her new husband, Michael Lawson, went on Oprah Winfrey show in 2018, and she emasculated the fuck out of him. Watch, you know what? Don't let me tell you. Just watch the clip. Open up another browser, run over to YouTube, type in Tina Knowles. Type in Tina Knowles Oprah. That's all you need. You don't need nothing else. Watch what the fuck she did to her husband. And get this. This is what happened. This is what the beef was, because I remember being in that beef. The beef was, it was his fault. She was a strong black woman, and he just had to take it. And you know what? That's get on high five, sister. Yeah, sister. Black women nationwide was high fiving her and telling her that's how it's supposed to be. And if you want to be a good black man, you could just deal with your sister like that. After she emasculated the fuck out of him. And some men was like, bruh, if you don't get the hell up and say, I'm out of here, then she just snipped his balls in front of everybody. So Kaya, go watch that clip. Go watch that clip. All right. Did I say Michael? I meant Matthew. I'm sorry. Thank you, Miss Carrington. Yeah, watch that clip, Kaya. And that's what he's talking about right here. All right, here we go. Going further in a column that preceded the one cited above, your correspondent detailed in historical terms the underpinnings of the black male role in the black love writ large. One major reason why the notion that black men writ large ain't shit has such powerful cultural force in black American life is due to the so-called race man of bygone era. Writing in his classic work, Streetwise, Race, Class, and Change in the Urban Community, a powerful volume that details the deep and profound change that black communities underwent in the late 1980s and 90s due to the myriad of forces, not least of which being the drug trade and gentrification. Yale University professor Elijah Anderson documents the following. It may be that such rewards are related to what Clayton and Drake called the race man. In the days of the traditional segregated black community, the race man was one who felt an intense responsibility to the race, to the point of viewing most events, especially public ones, involving white society as having definite implications for the well-being of blacks. To such men, it was important to present their race in a positive light, particularly to whites. The traditional old head in the present-day black community embodies a significant amount of the race man ideologies. His attempts to help young boys is also a way to help the black community. It demonstrates to whites that black people are decent, law-abiding, and respectable. Quote, in the old days, young boys would gather around an old head on the street corner or after Sunday school to listen to his witty conversation and moral tales on hard work and decency. That's what I did when I grew up, right? They truly felt they were learning something worthwhile from someone they can look up to and respect. One of the primary messages of the old head, or in our case, OG on the block, was about good manners and the value of hard work, how to dress for a job interview and how to deal with prospective employers, how to work and how to keep the job. Through stories and jokes and conversation, the old head would convey his conception of the tricks of the trade. This is where present-day notion on the part of many in Black America, among both Black women and quite a few Black men, that a particular type of Black men is socially, economically, and even morally responsible for the community as a whole. And this notion shows no sign of abating anytime soon. The race man was seen in a very real sense as a surrogate father to the wayward boys of the community, and it was his charge to raise them up. Of course, the select fuck boys they referred to as Rolling Stones back then were never quite called into account for their hit and run, love 'em and leave 'em ways. The more things change, the more they stay the same, huh? Indeed, they do. And today, in our time, this race man notion remains strong, not only among Black women, but not only among Black women, but a not insignificant number of Black men, as social media personality and pro-Black family man Lennon Honor so aptly demonstrates in his numerous videos online. Here's one from 2019 titled "Manhood Training: The Idea of Serving and Protecting, Becoming a Man Without Your Father." It's on YouTube, where Mr. Honor goes on at length and in detail about his view that a Black man's principle and only purpose in life is to be of service to his family, and by extension, his community. On its face, I don't have a problem with that. But the problem I do have is, one, that one gets the distinct impression that this isn't a volunteer army, but rather one is dragooned into service. And two, that there is very little that a Black man today gains from the enterprise, as I noted in the aforementioned column. While, quote, while it barely requires even asking, we nevertheless press on and consider exactly what's in it for today's put on race man, cleanup man, giving the sheer recriminations, thanklessness, and even out and out hostility such stalwart, non-select bros have to endure from black women, their kids, and even the wider community at large, one is hard pressed to think of anything redeeming or enticing individually for such a brother. And notions from yesterday of having pride in the race ring hollow now. Simply put, and as noted above, for all the actions of race and cleanup men back in the day, it is clear that the select fuckboys we have won. And it is hard to see how it can be anything other than a fool's errand to attempt a rescue operation of the community today. Let's continue. As noted in my previous column, in our previous chapter, the Sadie Hawkins dance, we all know of downright antisocial and mean to non-select guys, mind you. Select fuckboys, for all the havoc they truly wreak in the lives of black women, somehow they always get to the grin, smiley pass as ladies bend over for the guys that, they bend over for Tyrone. But black women who seem to delight in making the non-select guy's life a Hades on earth simply for existing, and then when you decline to put up with their abusive treatment, you're deemed as less of a black man for not being able to handle a strong black woman. Most of these black women, even those who loudly claim to the contrary, are rarely in any kind of professional counseling, therapy, treatment for their select fuckboy withdrawal issues. Indeed, it is the unspoken stance. It can even be called a consensus that the non-select boys are to act as de facto therapists, emotional tampons, emotional dumping ground, and emotional punching bag, all rolled into one. Yes, I'll make it for you. When I finish the meeting. Okay. All right, buddy. Son is hungry. When put together with all the headaches, heartaches, and real grief, again, one is hard pressed to see what, if any, is the upside for such a black man. And when pressed on this matter, those who would attempt to cajole this non-select guy into such a role cannot offer a simple, straight, no-chaser answer either. A damning indictment. All right, let's continue. Just give me a second. They say I got to drink a lot of fluids. Trust me, it's hard to drink a lot of fluids. It's not easy to drink a lot of fluids, especially when you're told that you have to and your body don't want you to. But I'm trying, y'all. All right, here we go. The truth is that there is little to nothing to be gained for today's non-select guy to be any black woman's cleanup man, let alone the communities, not only because of the aforementioned, but also because they won't appreciate it. Sidebar. The truth is there's little to nothing to be gained for today's non-select guy to be any black woman's cleanup man. The cleanup man. So ladies, you guys hear about how, oh, you know what, man, don't date women with children, right? Not because she has children, but because of what comes with that, right? Oh, did she make bad mistakes? I mean, what's going on? Who's the baby father? Did she gave Pookie a baby, but then she's making you pay extra to even be with her, so on and so forth, right? There was a time when being a stepfather was championed. There was a time when a man, once he took on the responsibility of raising another man's child, he was regarded as he was let me do it like this. I'll put it to you like this. There was a time that if a man came in and became the father of another man's child, that the mother would make sure that their kids respected that guy. There was a time that if you became a stepfather, that the woman would make damn sure that those kids respected him. You gonna respect him. You gonna respect him. Oh, yes, you are. This man took us in. He added value to our family. He created an environment that allowed us to be and live in a much better situation than we would have done on our own. He provided and he protected us, and you be goddamn if you gonna disrespect my new husband. There was a time where if you were a stepfather, you were championed. Can we say that that's the case today? Can we say that that's the case today? Just in what you guys are personally observing. There's no stats here. We don't need to run no numbers. We don't have to go look up no polls. Just what do you think? Do you guys see stepfathers today getting the respect that stepfathers 20 years ago got? 40 years ago got? I was a stepfather. I was. Did I get, my father was a stepfather. Did I get the same respect that my dad got? Hell no. To be honest with you guys, it's really a bad deal. The kids aren't even required to respect the dad. No matter how hard he works, no matter what value he brings, no matter where he takes somebody up out of and brings them into. Everybody give a shout out to Mr. Donnie Mack.
Being number one isn't easy.
Mr. Donnie Mack with the $5 super chat. What does he say? Mr. Donnie Mack says, this is my dad's story. His dad passed away through a heart attack at 51, leaving a widow and 3 children under 10. Oh, man. Thank you for the $5 investment in blessing, brother. Thank you for that $5 investment in blessing, brother. We appreciate you. Yeah. Do stepfathers get the respect that they once got 40 years ago? A man meets a woman. The woman has children. Her children's fathers don't really give a damn. Don't care about seeing the kids. Don't care about nothing. Don't care about nothing. They're just gone, right? So then you come in as a man, and then you step up to the plate. And you say, okay, and you don't even have children with her yet. Let's say, right? You don't even have children. You just come in. Let's say you are a single guy with no kids, and you date a woman with kids, and the parent of one or all of those children are gone. The father of one or all of the children are gone, and you step up. Are you given the respect and adoration that you should certainly deserve? Or are those kids, are they kids today saying, you ain't my daddy? Are the kids now telling stepfathers, you can't tell me nothing, you ain't my daddy? And the mother is standing behind the kids like, or they laugh it off. Or if you go and tell them that the kids say that, they be like, oh, don't worry about them. They just brush it off. It's not a serious offense. And you be thinking to yourself, well, what the fuck am I getting out of this? Ladies, I want you to put yourselves in some of these men's shoes. When you feel that the man that you're bringing in is not getting the respect that he deserves, and remember, respect is what we want. He's like, God damn, why the fuck did I take this deal? Do I like her that much that I should take this deal? That the kids won't even respect me, the mother won't even respect me enough to enforce respect from the kids? This right here says the truth is that there is little to nothing to be gained for the average guy to be any black woman's cleanup man. What's the upside if we can't even get respect? Let's continue. Not only because the aforementioned, but also because they won't appreciate it. Oh, appreciation. Shall we talk about appreciation? You know, a lot of people don't appreciate shit. You get some people who, you know, sidebar, a second sidebar real quick. They killed these strawberries. This thing was full. The kids killed these strawberries. All gone. Appreciation goes a long way. To tell a man I appreciate you. Ladies, to grab your man by the face and say, baby, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And say it with sincerity. Say it where it's coming from all your heart. I appreciate you. Goes a long way. But you can't really get women to do that today. Women, they're not going to tell a man how much they appreciate because they don't appreciate him. They don't. And oftentimes until he's gone. And you know what? Some guys, even after they break up, they still pour into the woman to make sure she's good. To make sure she's good. Because if he was to just be gone, she wouldn't have nothing. But sometimes we stick around to make sure that you good until you could take it from here on your own. Have you ever been told after doing that for somebody, hey, you know what? I appreciate you. I really appreciate all that you've done for me. And I just want you to know that that's the case. Were you given a gift? Were you given a fucking Hallmark card? Were you given a gift card? Were you taken to dinner? Were you given a were you told? See, these are the things that men, when we say that women, you guys don't understand men, this is what we talk about. Because respect and appreciation is important to us. And if you can't give respect and appreciation, then you wonder why we're like, oh, hell no. And this is where you guys are saying, oh, well, you know, the manosphere is turning men. No, all we doing is waking people up. Just waking up. Ladies, gentlemen, wake up. Let me just show you the reality here. What's the upsides? What's the upsides to being a cleanup man? If he can't get any respect and adoration and appreciation. If you can't give him respect and appreciation, then what is the point? I'm just saying what I'm saying. I'm just saying what I'm saying, y'all. And ladies, I know it's almost like telling you to do that. It's almost like as if you're gonna like break out in hives or some shit. It's like you gonna, you know, are you allergic to telling a man that you appreciate him for all that he's done? Because the reality is you can compare. You can take away everything that he's done for you, remove it. Remove everything that he's done, whether it's time, whether it's gifts, whether it's items, whether it's money, whether it's knowledge. Remove it all. Where would you be? And if you removed it and you know where you'd be without it versus where you are now with it, then tell me, why haven't you told him I appreciate you? Because you're going to break out in hives? You're going to itch? It's going to make you, you know, are you allergic to telling the motherfucker that you are appreciative of everything he's done for you? Is your ego so... Anyways, let's continue. I know I hear the chat just firing off, but I don't want to get into that. Let's go. All right. The truth is that there is little to nothing to be gained for today's non-select guy to be any woman's cleanup man, let alone the communities, not only because of the aforementioned, but also because they won't appreciate it. The truth is that the pride and prestige that came with the role in the past is a literal shadow of its former self, little more than a barren shell. I just said that. There was a time. See, I didn't read this, by the way. I didn't read this. I didn't read this chapter. Sidebar, everybody. I didn't read this in advance. But again, I told you guys, me and Obsidian is like kindred, because the brother, he's 3 years older than me, right? He's experienced what I've experienced, and I'm on the West Coast. I'm in Los Angeles. He's on the East Coast. We're not telling you what we think, ladies and gentlemen. And we're trying to save people. We want to save people. But you got to listen to us and you got to do the hard work. He just said, because he knows what I'm talking about. There was a time where being a stepfather was championed. There was a time when being a stepfather and coming in and being, quote unquote, the cleanup man, being the cleanup man for women who made bad decisions, in the men they selected or having children or whatever. You, lady, made a bad decision because it was on you and you decided to do that. And a guy came in and cleaned that shit up. He was champion for that. Today, as Obsidian writes right here, the truth is that pride and prestige that came with the role of the cleanup man in the past is a literal shadow of its former self. Little more than a barren shell. Today, the role of the cleanup man is to act as a living host for the parasites of the community, starting first and foremost with the select fuckboys, the black women who are addicted to them, and more often than not, the kids they created together. To leech off of, draining the average guy's finances, assets, human capital, and even his very life. The black women, I mean, come on, you guys. Starting first and foremost with the select fuckboys, the black women who fucking laid down with them, and the children that they produced. It is for this reason that perhaps one of my best known podcasts ever, Why I Refuse to Be the Cleanup Man, has truly gone viral and remains a top-ranked podcast to this day. A powerful testament to how richly it tapped into the zeitgeist of today. True that, and when seen in the context of the final lines of above quote, one can now see how and why I came out in full-throated support of the SYSBM movement. That is the Save Yourself Black Man movement. On Wednesday, December 18th, 2019. As a publicly acknowledged founding father of the Black Manosphere and the more recently dating coach expert for the non-select guy, I could no longer in good conscience continue to advise the black men who depend on, listen, and support me to put up with all the bullshit. That's what I'm gonna write. I'm gonna say bullshit. He say crap, but I'm gonna say bullshit. So many, not all, mind you, but a heck of a lot of black women foist onto them, often with either a blind eye by the community at large, and in many cases with its tactic approval. After 4 years of numerous attempts on my part to spark a real meaningful conversation bearing on all the important issues of dating and mating in contemporary Black American life, with precious little to show for it, but more recriminations on the part of the loudest voices in the room among Black women online, I finally, and after much thought and consultation with several of my most trusted supporters, issued a abandoned ship. Fellas, abandoned ship. Fellas, abandoned ship. The record should document that I do not regret doing so. Black men, and by that, I mean the non-select guys, average guys like Shannon, the regular folk, the regular dudes like Shan. Black men, and by that I mean the non-select guys, have just as much a right to not be victims of abuse, scorn, derision, shame, recrimination, as any Black woman doesn't deserve to have that happen to her. That Black men have a right to self-love too, just as much as Black women have that right. It just happens to take a different form than we're used to with Black women. It takes a form of Black men leaving the building and heading off to greener pastures. And yes, that will involve other women, amongst other things, too. Get over it. They won't have the non-select guys to kick around anymore. And this is where I come in. You're not going to kick the average guy around no more. Not no more. Them days is over. What is truly fascinating to me as 2019 drew to a close, was watching the sheer enormity of response on the part of Black social media in response to my aforementioned coming out in support of the SYSBM. One of my closest supporters, a Black male social media content creator in his own right, had brought to my attention that since my statement of support, there had been over 50, that's right, count them, over 50 live streams, hangouts, chats, videos, and podcasts made by our loyal opposition. As of this writing in early January 2020, that's only been just over 2 weeks. And there is no sign of that trend abating anytime soon, as fierce debate and discussion continues among the usual suspects. What all this has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt to me is that far from the supposedly no accounts that the average guys are to Black women and by extension the community, in truth, they are very important, and for a very good reason, because everybody knows that without the average guy to keep Black American society afloat, the whole thing sinks. Black women in particular are loath to admit this, because to do so would be to admit their base desires. Basically, we're saying their desires of fuckboys, and to admit the fact that they need other guys to do all the things your man won't do, as the R&B crooner Joe ironically puts in his mentor in insurance, whatever that's saying. I'm gonna skip all of that and so on. And to do all this often without as much as a thank you, let alone get any sex out of the deal. But to actually be blamed for not wanting to sign up to be thrown into that meat grinder, that is the very epitome of gaslighting. No wonder Black women complain about it so much. They projecting it on a colossal scale. The enormous intensity of reaction on the part of Black women and some Black men to my statement in support of SYSBM at the 11th hour when it's all over, but the shouting and the non-select guys are on their way out the door, only reinforces in the most dramatic way imaginable that everything I've been saying over the nearly past 5 years was true. Overcoming objections to the SYSBM movement. Everybody understands what SYSBM stands for, right? It's Save Yourself, Black Men. It's a movement called Save Yourself, Black Men. It's basically saying there's nothing we can do about. You know what? I explained that in my podcast coming up. What is the red pill, pink pill, black pill, blue pill? SYSBM is broke down in there. I'll save it for that. That show is already ready to go, and I'm feeling good, so I might go ahead and do that show. With what can only be rightly seen as a full-on mass exodus of Black men from Black women and the community, now fully underway, it is useful for those of us who support the right of Black men to self-love to address the many objections and arguments against the SYSBM option. In that, my daily bread is earned by keeping a fairly close ear to the Black social media ground in this regard. I feel that I am uniquely qualified to respond and give my take in response to these objections. They are as follows. 1. Black men only want bottom shelf Beckies. This carnage has been around for quite some time, so it's no surprise that it would be trotted out here. The idea that when Black men jump the fence, right, they more often than not, they're slumming it. They go into some trashy, low class, nasty chick. First, let's consider the fact that when Black men go SYSBM, Save Yourself, Black Men, they are more often than not heading to locales with sizable Black populations. Brazil, for example, boasts the most people of African descent in the Western Hemisphere. There's more Africans in Brazil than anywhere in the Western Hemisphere. It ain't that they are abandoning Black women, they just getting different Black women. Second only to Africa itself, the Dominican Republic, another popular destination spot for SYSBMers, has a 14% Black population out of a total national population of just under 11 million, with another 70% of that being of mixed ancestry. Colombia, also a hotspot for the SYSBM crowd, has a Black population of nearly 10%, which also includes mixed race, out of a national total of some 48 million. And Puerto Rico, while part of the United States as an unofficial 51st state, right, it is no stranger to the SYSBM contingent, nor is it sparse when it comes to Blacks, with 12.4% Black population and another 3.3% being mixed race, out of a population total of 3 million. Black men seeking a better life overall, and in particular in love department, have a clear preference for locales that offer quite a few ladies of the African ancestry to choose from. This fact has been documented 7 Ways to Sunday, including the well-known and regarded documentary Frustrated Black American Men in Brazil. But since there are in fact Black men who are with non-Black, and in particular white women, let me directly address the matter in most blunt terms. Yes, if the choice comes down to a Becky who is pleasingly plump, a baby mama, some other flaw, right, but is also pleasing to her man on one hand, and a Rasputina, baby mama, some other flaw type Black woman who is hell on wheels on the other hand, right? The choice is obviously who today's Black man is going to go with. You got in one hand a white girl who's a baby mama, who is a little, she got some flaw, but she's pleasing to her man. She's good to her man. She brings him peace. And then you got the sister who's a baby mama, but she's neck snapping, shit talking, back talking, hard to deal with, can't using sex as a weapon. What the fuck? This is how I want to do things type woman. Who you think he gonna pick? Which one is he gonna pick, ladies and gentlemen? I'm just saying. What fascinates me to no end is that the black women who carp on this point simply refuse to groak that black men want pleasant women to deal with. And honestly, think that a black man is obligated in some form, some way, to put up with them no matter what, simply because they're black. As I said above, get over it. Princessa, you keep telling everybody, Princessa, you keep telling everybody, thank you for your support of Shannon Rawls. But Shannon Rawls want to tell Princessa, thank you for your support of Shannon Rawls, Princessa. Have I ever told you that? I think I may have, but let me say it again. Princessa, thank you for telling everybody for their support of me, but I want to tell you, thank you for your support of me. You could have supported anybody else. You could be rocking with anybody else. There's a whole lot of content creators, and I'm sure you do rock with them too. I don't know, but I know that you always here. So thank you, Princessa. I appreciate you. I just want to put that on record. We need to record that. We need to record that. Clip that video and post it. All right. Thank you so much, Princessa. Number 2, black men who travel abroad are only doing so to trick. My personal favorite. Despite the fact that most black men today are desirous of marriage or LTRs. What's an LTR? I wonder what an lifetime. No, what's an LTR, you guys? I'm not sure what an LTR is. Javaro, find out what an LTR is and give it to me on the back chat. All right. Despite the fact that most black men today are desirous of marriage or LTRs, we are still stuck with this bromide. All right, then. How about this? What does it say when you have a significant and growing number of black men who are willing to pay for plane flights and travel some 6,000 miles away for a blowjob and a smile? Detractors would object by saying that they can merely procure those same sexual services from homegrown black women, right? You can get that right here at home for much less hassle and cost. But what they conveniently leave out is the smile part. They leave out the smile part in my statement. Yeah, they can get a blowjob locally, but a blowjob and a smile? Simply put, black men are willing to leave home and go very far for a smile and friendly and cooperative woman. Which brings me to the next bogus objection. That, well, these foreign ladies are merely faking it. Let's say, well, but they're faking it. They don't love you. You just a meal ticket to them. These women don't love you. These foreign chicks don't care about you. Huh. That's what they say to the men who go elsewhere to find women. To which I respond by saying that that's rich coming from a group of women who are known for their lack of authenticity. Shall we start with the hair, anyone? Now, by the way, this is for the women who say, oh, you know what? Y'all going to them foreign chicks. You going overseas and shit, but they faking it. Them women is just faking it. They don't give a fuck about they're faking it. Got it. And that's coming from women who, let's start with the hair. Black women here in the United States are every bit of a fraud as any woman overseas. They just mad that the women overseas is a lot better at pulling it off than they are. Like I said, get over it. Black men are willing to pay for a good performance. So if these women are faking it, aren't you? With all them inches? Aren't you with that BBL? What do you call, so how authentic is that BBL? How authentic is that Botox? How authentic is those snuffleupagus eyelashes you didn't just paste it on your eyelids? How authentic is the weave? You sitting there talking about these women overseas is faking it. That's rich. Number 3, black men who travel to third world countries so they can take advantage of poor young girls who are being trafficked in the sex slave and wait, hold on. Yes?
I'm getting hungry.
You getting hungry, buddy?
Yeah, on the circle pizza.
Circle pizza?
Yeah.
Do we have any more?
Yeah.
You got to eat some of Nana's food. How about that?
There.
All right. Give me 5 minutes. I'm almost done. All right. Let's read number 3, you guys. Then I gotta be dad. Black men who travel to third world countries so they could take advantage of poor young girls who are being trafficked in the sex slave and are therefore pedophiles. Come on. This is right out of the Logical Fallacies 101 playbook. Appeal to fear section. There is no data bearing on black men in any numbers traveling to locales so they can have sex with underage minors. And in fact, the only famous case along these lines in the past year happened here stateside. You might have heard of the perp himself, R. Kelly, whom black women supported with their purses for decades. Moving right along. Number 4. Black men are color struck and will do anything to get a non-black woman, and especially a white woman, regardless as to what they look like, act like, or what they've done. Things that would crucify a black woman for, like being a baby mama, among other things. See objection number 1. And to put a final point on what I said, again, allow me to emphasize the fact that the black women who bring this point never once mention the importance of being pleasant, smiling, and being submissive. Talk about entitlement. Number 5. These loser beta males, non-select average black men, are simply not man enough to handle a strong, independent, don't need no man, American black woman, an ADOS black woman. Oh my God. These women, they running scared, ain't they? You don't even have nothing to say to that one. I know they do get hungry, Igbo. They do get hungry. He killed a whole thing of strawberries, and but I got to get him some real food. That was just fruit. Remember, fruit is unlimited, so I got to get him some food in just a quick second. We only got 3 more pages, so we almost done. Yes, Javaro, submission means to be a slave. That's how black women in America look at the term submission. We're gonna have to talk about that one. Javaro. We're gonna have to talk about that one. Thank you guys for hanging in there with your boy, Shan. I want to adjust the camera because it's kind of dark, but I'm too tired to get up. So here we go. Let's continue, guys. Shout out to everybody who's in here dealing with my struggle reading. I know I'm struggle reading. I promise to do better. I promise to do better. I promise to do better. Thank you so much for everybody who supported the channel. Thank you, everybody who supported the channel. I appreciate you. Number 6. They're the black male version of Crystalline Kerosene and her pink pill movement. This is the latest wrinkle to come from the loyal opposition, and I nearly fell out of my chair when I first heard it last week. You have got to be kidding me. But what the heck? I'm here for the shits and giggles. Okay, first, Crystalline Kerosene hasn't shown any demonstrable results with her pink pill. Quick, how many black women has she been able to get married off to Brad over the past decade she's been doing this? I personally know of, off the top of my head, several married couples and have access to a private Facebook group that specializes in black men going the SYSBM route. Oh, my man, he's supporting it. Everybody throw your ones up. I'm going to come to him in a second. Getting married to women from abroad and are doing well. Can Kerosene say the same? Second, unlike the pink pill, which, let's face it, is charm school for black women who want Brad, as I noted above, black men who go SYSBM usually want a black woman, not not an American black woman. They want a black woman. They just don't want an American black woman. This isn't always true, but it certainly is true a heck of a lot more than is the case with Kerosene crowd, who are holding out for their mythical Seth. Good luck with that. Everybody, real quick, please throw your ones up for my man RCC.
Being number 1 isn't easy.
One of my best YouTube friends. Everybody throw your ones up to my guy RCC72 Detroit, who is one of my best YouTube friends.
Being number 1 isn't easy.
He said it's a good read. Stop you fronting. It's not a good read. Today's read is the worst read I've ever done. But I had to plow through it. My voice is cracked. My body's aching. My children are hungry. I started late. It's the worst read ever. And you still hit me with a $10 blessing. You still invested $10 in the channel. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Being number 1 isn't easy.
I appreciate you, RCC72. Thank you so much for your support, man. That's right, everybody. I see them ones throwing them. Everybody throw your ones up to RCC. Talking about good read. RCC, you ain't got a lot of me. You ain't got a lot of me. You know this is one of my worst reads ever. But I'm hanging in there. Let's go. We got 2 more paragraphs and we done. I can go on. Obsidian says he can go on. But by now, you see my point. And for my guys reading along, whether you're the SYSBM persuasion or not, by all means, feel free to use the above points as refutation anytime you encounter these objections in your travels. One of the things we brothers have to get a lot better with is our ability to clap back with the utmost quickness and precision. In summary, the SYSBM movement and its focus on self-love, happiness, and living your best life is here to stay. Hope you have a plan for your retirement, ladies. And that's it. We jump on chapter 21 on Monday. So Monday we're reading 21, 22, 23, and 24. It starts with Lil Wayne, the poster child of the SYSBM movement. Oh, I can't wait to get to that. Let's switch over. Oh. I wish I can order a massage. I wish there was a robot that can come over and give me a back rub. My neck is so stiff. Thank you, guys. You hung in there with your boy. You hung in there with your boy. Jill's like, go feed them babies. Go feed them babies. I will. I have to. I have to. I have to. This is where a good woman comes in. Women, you guys are natural nurturers. Women are natural nurturers. Jill's like, okay, done. Go feed the kids now. And I'm like, Jill, please, Jill, wait. I gotta talk to my. No, Shannon, go feed the babies. I know all the women right now is thinking about my children. Oh my goodness gracious. First of all, Sherry, hold on. I gotta update the stream sponsor. Sherry is always doing this. Sherry, don't forget to send the email so my team can send you the gift card. You know how it works. Everybody, throw your ones up to Sherry.
Being number one isn't easy.
Where did her post go? There it is. Everybody, throw your ones
Being
up
number
to Sherry.
one isn't easy.
I appreciate you, Shan, praying for you. Sherry has she has probably supported this channel to the tunes of what? Sherry, where you at now so far in the last 30 days? $200, $300? $400 maybe? Sherry, you're always supporting. Sherry, you are always supporting.
Being number one isn't easy.
You don't ever stop supporting. You don't, it's a trip. See, okay, remember I was talking earlier about, I said, listen, ladies and gentlemen, there's certain women out here and we're teaching, and I know this is a male-centric channel, blah, blah, blah. But then you see these women here. You see these women here. I'm speaking to ladies, you guys, I'm not talking to you. So just chill for a quick second. Fellas, I want to talk to you. So gentlemen, I'm speaking to you. You would have to ask yourself, well, damn, why does Shan have women supporting his channel when he's harsh on women as well as men? Why would they even do that? I'll tell you why. It's because, do you guys remember earlier on when I did my little rant about women who are willing to change their minds to get the outcomes that they want, and I gave shots out to them? That is the women I'm talking about. I told you it's a small percentage. Most of them aren't going to be here. Now, if I had a channel that was doing nothing but dogging out men and telling women what they wanted to hear, I'd be getting super chats all day long. I'd be getting $50, $20 all day long. Women have no problem doing that. But those women are the ones that's going to grow old. That's the women of the Golden Girls Club. So you get people like Sherry who rejects the Golden Girls Club. She says, no. Truth matters more to me. And so, to be honest with you, the people like Kevin Samuels, Shannon Rawls, the Obsidian, the women that we talk about ain't her. We're not talking about the princesses and the Lakeisas and the Sherrys of the world. We're talking about the other women who either don't want to be here or is here quietly and can't stand what we're talking about. The people like Sherry who supports the channel, those are the women that we're relying on to pass the message on to the younger women, because these women ain't gonna listen to us. They're gonna listen to Sherry's. They're gonna listen to the princess. They're gonna listen to the Miss Dreas. So when you see people like Sherry support this channel, what you're really seeing is somebody who has, what you're really seeing, fellas, is a woman who don't think like the women we complain about. When you see a Sherry Fairley, you're looking at a woman who, and I know it, you don't know her personally and you probably will never meet her, but trust me, she's doing okay in the dating market. They're doing okay with men. The Sherrys of the world is doing okay with men. It's the ones that's giving pushback that's having a problem. So you guys, shout out to Sherry.
Being number one isn't easy.
Shout out to Sherry. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate you. I wish it was more like you. I wish it was more women like Princessa and Miss Drea and Sherry and Lakeisha and you know, I wish there was more like Jill, Miss Carrington. I just wish it was more, but it's not. And it's okay. Listen.
Being number one isn't easy.
It ain't easy. Being number one ain't easy. And I'm not saying this because she gave a whopping $50 super chat. I'm saying it because I've watched it. Because here's the thing. It's not just my channel. I go on other channels and I watch these same women talking on those talking points. And I'll be saying, oh, damn, they don't have no problem. I see them over at the Lapeef Network. I see them on Anton's show. I see them at different shows. And I won't even say nothing in the chat. I won't even say that I'm there. And I'll be listening at people like Sherry talk. And I'll be like, okay, she gets it. I'll listen to Lakeisha or I'll listen to Ms. Dre. I'll be like, okay, Ms. Dre, she gets it. She gets it. And I'll be wondering, like, why are y'all over here if y'all get it? I hope that they're over here to gain knowledge so they can pass it on to the other women. Because I'll be like, well, we're not even talking about them. It's like we're not even talking about, like the women that Obsidian is discussing in this book, that's not even her. We're not even talking about her. Get the women that we talking to over here. They won't come, huh? No, they won't come. So that's why we have the female ambassadors to pass the word. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate you for the super chat and the blessing and the investment into the channel. I appreciate you. You guys, we're done. We read today's 4 chapters. I'm coming, buddy. Come here. I'm coming. You gotta say bye to everybody.
Nah.
You gotta say bye to everybody. This is my guy. Do we look alike?
No, we're not the shade hair.
Oh, you gotta shave your bald. You gotta get a bald head like that. Yeah. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to Rich People Read. See, this is how I got sick, because this is what they do. They stay on me and they don't ever give me no space. No, I can't sleep in peace. You climb all over me. You jump on me. You always in my face. And you oh my God.
I jump on your face like a little alien.
Yes, you jump on Dad's face like a little alien. That's all right. That's all right, buddy. Love you. Okay, I'm coming. I'm gonna make you some food right now. I gotta say bye to all my friends. All right. Uh-oh. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for your support. I'm gonna make them some food, and if I can get them to take a nap, I'm gonna go live again. If I can get these guys to take a nap after I fill their bellies up with some food, because I got yummy food from Granny Gigi and I got some yummy food from Nana. If I can fill their bellies up and put them to sleep and take a nap, I'll come back and I'll go live again. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for reading along with your boy Shan. Ladies, and what that little last rant that I just said, I'm really saying that because I do really mean that we're not talking to you, ladies, when we complain about the things that Black women and Black men are going on. But what I am asking you ladies to do is to educate the other ones, because far too often the blind is leading the blind. There's too many women who are out there teaching women things that is going to lead them into failure long term. What we're trying to do for men is try to make sure that the men aren't, because there's too many OGs that's teaching the young guys the wrong shit. And so I'm just like, nah, bruh. Like me, for instance, I'm twice married, twice divorced. So I tell men what not to do. I'm trying to show men how to become better husbands. To be honest with you, men suck at being husbands. So I want to show men how to become better husbands. Things that they need to do, how to talk, how to react. I have people are booking one-on-one calls with me now. So I'm talking, hey man, you know, I don't want to really, as long as I don't tell you guys who it is. So yeah, like, you know what, anyways, the point is people call me and they give me their issues and I tell them, I said, no man, that's your fault, bro. No, but what you mean, man? No, bruh. No, that's your fault, man. Your wife did not do anything wrong. I know you did. If you called me looking for somebody to back you up, you made the wrong phone call. If you wanted to have a consultation with me because you was hoping that I was gonna back up your fuckery, then you made the wrong phone call. You're at fault. I won't get into details on what too many of these men do, but some of these guys are out there fucking up, and they're not doing the things that they're supposed to do as husbands. And the thing is, men, they're not gonna receive that from a woman, but they'll hear it from OG Shan. They'll hear it from OG Shan, especially when I tell them you fucking up, because I did the same mistake myself years ago. And it wasn't until I realized later that I fucked up. And now here, let me explain it to you on what you did, how you can fix it, and then you could see the outcomes of you changing. Brother, you got to do that, and especially if you want your relationship to work. So yeah, it's on me to make sure that these young boys is doing what they're supposed to do to become great husbands. Ladies, it's on you to help these young girls become better wives. So shout out to all the ladies who support my channel. Please take this information, reverse engineer it, right? Reverse engineer it, and then apply it to the young women so that you can combat that bitter wives, that bitter ex-wives club, or that bitter ex-girlfriends club, or otherwise known as the sisterhood. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here with us. I appreciate you. Yes, Dre, I'm about to go feed the kids. See what I'm saying? Okay, y'all, I'm gone. I'm being a guy. You know, guys, you know, come on, you guys. Y'all banging on me. Women, see, women are, okay, I feel y'all gonna have me have a whole nother discussion. All right, you guys, appreciate you. Please subscribe to the channel. All right, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video, and please go to sidebar.shannonrawls.com to join our Facebook group. All right, my name is Shannon Rawls. Thank you for reading along with us. Remember, reading is the way to expand your mind and body and your bank account. Tune in next time to Rich People Read, and you, my friends, are dismissed.
Yeah. Escucha. Mío en tu habitación, solo los 2 segundos que hay que detener.
You hungry, baby?
Porque si no siento tu voz o tu olor, te extraño y te quiero ver. Quiero ver. Tanto me falta. Todas esas noches tan soñadas. Que me levantes sin mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada. Me haces falta, bebé. Dime qué tengo que hacer pa' tenerte de una vez, pa' no poderte perder. Dulce, eres mi bombón. Te quiero melocotón. Por ti corro un maratón. Solo de la dirección. Tú y yo, queriendo más amor. Pa' mí no es suficiente. Yo quiero tu calor. Tú y yo, con esa conexión, somos lo que la gente no ha visto de los dos. Tanto me falta, todas esas noches tan soñadas, que me levantes sin mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada. Mira, somos perfectos, es algo indiscutible. Mi estilo y tu estilo no están disponibles. Solo soy sensible cuando te tengo porque eres irresistible. Tus labios combinan con tus ojos, porque eres tan pretty que hasta yo de eso me antojo. Chica, necesito mis anteojos. Quiero verte en noche hermosa de todos modos. Tú y yo, queriendo más amor. A mí no es suficiente. Yo quiero tu calor. Tú y yo, con esa conexión, somos lo que la gente no ha visto de los dos. Tanto me falta, todas esas noches tan soñadas, que me levantes sin mirada. me falta. Todas esas noches tan soñadas, que me levante esa mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada.